Well, hello, Horty babes. How are you doing today? Want to say hello to everybody. Ooh, ooh. There's only a couple people hanging out in YouTube chat today. That's all right. We enjoy you hanging out in there anyway. Got Phoebe G. There's Comrade Anthony, Kylie Poe. We got Nikki Star and Dendrite 2. That's like, is it like Polygon 2? Porygon 2. There's like Porygon the Pokemon, and then it has an evolution that's just Porygon 2. Yes. Hello, NB Ghosty. First stream in a while. Good to have you here. Oh, hello, Ela. Okay, what's up? I saw you over in the YouTube chat and over here. So, yes, welcome. Hello, Nubanol. What's up, Andes? Hello, Trout Dealer. Yes, Trout Dealer has the right idea. Hit like on the stream if you would, please. It's free, it's quick, it's easy, and immediately helps the show. So, thank you. What's up, Shade? Hello. Junebug is here. Hi. Mama Mephistopheles. What's up? And Violet. Hello. What's up? Turns into a tree. Like, poof. I would blend right in. I would blend right into my background if I just turned into a tree. Wow, it would be lovely. Dryads for life. Okay. So, yeah, how has everybody's weekend been so far? I looking sporty today. Yeah, this is, I think it's supposed to be a baseball style tee. It's an Unus Annus tee. Unus Annus. Yeah, so I'm a silly fanboy, but yeah, it's supposed to be a baseball tee. Gotta cover up these guns, you know. I've been showing them off too much because I wear those tank tops all the time. So yeah, we gotta put them away. We gotta hide them. What's up, JJ? I missed Thursday. I actually conned someone into having a date with me. Had to bribe them with a blow high. Well, that's certainly one way to get a date. I think that works. Oh my gosh. You know, you have those moments where you're like, am I gonna burp or not? And then it's just like, there. Great feeling. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that you had a date. That's lovely. Excuse me. Yeah, so my weekend so far has been not great. I mean, I'm just like mega stressed out about everything and like every single aspect of my life, except for this. Like, I've realized that, yeah, like my job, I have a hard time doing it sometimes, but I enjoy it and I'm pretty good at it and I have that flexibility. So, like, I love my job and that's going great. And I also have a couple of friends who I'm talking to on a semi-regular basis, so that's good for me. But, like, almost all other major aspects of my life are just not doing well. Like, everything is painful and difficult, and I need a fucking break, and I don't really know when that's gonna happen. So this is kind of my break, as it were, as much as it can be, considering that I am gonna talk about serious news today. As usual, at the start of our streams, we do this little chill hangout. We chat, we catch up a little bit, and maybe we even cover some of the positive news up top here. And yeah, moving forward, we got some interesting politics stuff to talk about a little bit later on in the stream. So if you're just coming in, go ahead and hit the like button. Even if you're not the kind of person who likes to hang out for that first hour chill stream kind of thing, hit the like button before you go and then come back in about an hour because we're gonna get into talking about the news right about then. It's bright and sunny in the English Midlands today, feeling good. Ooh, yeah, the weather has been, it's been pretty nice this past week or so where I'm at. Like, it's been pretty okay. Hello, Jimmy Nails. Did you see Shark's video yesterday? No, I have not seen Shark's video yesterday. Did he finally issue a formal response to the Soul Bunny thing? I saw the screenshot of the thumbnail kind of floating around. So, yeah, I don't really watch a lot of other people's political content, TBH, or like drama content or whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, is it worth watching? I guess how long is it? That's the question. How much time am I going to spend listening to that when I could otherwise be like listening to Good Mythical Morning and playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom? 1 hour. Liked it. Got stung this weekend, so hand is about twice its size. Oh, that's rough. I hurt my hand recently, and it was visibly like swollen on this part of my hand. It's okay now. And then I got some dumbbell straps, so Skylar, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. They said, love you, Lux. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. That is an excellent first dono of the day. Thank you so much. I kind of didn't know what to set the stream goal for today. So right now it's horns. We can change it. It can be flexing my muscles or showing off the tummy, I guess. I don't really know. Like, whatever you guys want. Hello, Zach. I don't know if we're going to even make it to the goal. It's fine. Like, I get it. It's tax season. Some people are getting refunds. Some people owe. I owe, so I get it. Hello, Anansi. Working right now, but going to listen to you and lurk. Ooh, yes. We love the lurkers. It was a pre-recorded vid. Obviously not his forte, but still decent. Yeah, I mean, I feel like also maybe it would be unfair of me to not watch Soul Bunny's video and go ahead and watch Shark's video. Because, I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I really don't think I would have gotten involved in the discourse that much if it weren't for the fact that, like, Jessie Gender, like, blew it up and it got so much buzz subsequently. I don't know. I kind of just don't love responding to the videos of people who I think are super toxic, and I just sort of think that Soul Bunny is toxic. Regardless of whether she's right about any of the issues, I think that she's just kind of one of those sort of toxic people. And yeah, I just, you know, do what you're gonna do, y'all. Like, I don't know, just, I don't really want to be involved. I deal with so much bullshit just constantly that I am really just, wow, tired of it. I'm happily unaware of the drama, and I enjoyed watching the 4-hour-long Jessie Gender video on Nebula. Really? So people post like 4-hour-long... Wait. Wait, what is Jessie Gender's 4... I thought the 4-hour-long Jessie Gender video was about, like, toxic masculinity and trans women? Or does she have a 4-hour-long video about Soul Bunny and Shark? 70% of Soul Bunny's vids are like, I don't like these people and neither should you. Yeah, I try not to do that. Anyway, yeah, so there's just always some fucking drama going on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so exhausted by it. It's about masculinity and trans women and the myth of male socialization. Okay, yeah, that's like, I thought that was a totally separate video. So, like, the drama part, yeah. Oh, yeah. I watched it specifically because there's no interpersonal drama. Okay, I got you. But yeah, like, I don't know, y'all. We have, like, an impending fascist takeover. We have fully manufactured consent all across the country to repeat reinfections of a disease that causes dementia, sudden heart attack, and death, suffocating people to death in the acute phase, 16 million people disabled enough that they can't work anymore or can't work as much anymore, and, like, mass shootings everywhere and transphobia, and, like, everything fucking sucks. And I just don't have any patience for it in my interpersonal interactions. So when fellow creators and other people in the space, like, even if they're people who I generally agree with, I think if you deliver your message in a toxic way, that is the line where I don't want to be in community with you. Like, I don't really want to be your friend. I don't really feel like we're part of the same movement if your way of getting your point across is to be an asshole to people. You know what I mean? Like, the name calling and salute to the sending the boyfriend off. Yeah, so I just personally am, like, I think that my politics fundamentally come down to, like, empathy and kindness, and that people who purport to embody the same policy values as me but do not embody the same interpersonal values as me, like, I just don't care about fostering those relationships, really. Like, I don't want to, like, as an adult, try to explain to other people that they should be kind to one another and that they shouldn't be, like, stirring up conflict when we're in the midst of, like, multiple genocides right now. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I've come down. I have like way too much on my plate to deal with people who are toxic in the movement, which I think maybe fundamentally means that I don't know that I am able to do any like activism. Yeah, be an asshole to conservatives, that's fine. I agree with Cody from Cody's Shòt, Some More News, that, you know, you got to get it out of your system sometimes, and doing it to like TERFs and conservatives and things like that's, you know, whatever, that's different. But yeah, like I'm so tired of feeling like there's just conflict everywhere in my life, including among people who are supposed to be on my team. So I don't know if like I am in a place where I am even going to be able to do political organization because of all of this just like interpersonal hostility that feels really unnecessary. Stop bullying each other and start bullying Crowder. Listen, I even think it's a necessary component to fighting fascism, to make fun of them, to call them losers, to make fun of their appearance, like to undermine their posture of strength. Like, I think that's critically important. So yeah, I do think that there are situations where being cruel to people is the correct thing to do. Yes, like calling Steven Crowder a divorced loser, and calling fucking, oh god, what's his name? Glinner, calling Graham Linehan a fucking loser, like a divorced loser. Speaking of TERFs, I had fun vandalizing a TERF sticker yesterday. It felt good to scratch off female from their biological essentialist BS definition of woman. Nice. Yeah, be careful when you all do that, because sometimes they will stick razor blades underneath the stickers. I'm not saying that you didn't know that, Violet, but just in general, y'all. If you try to take down fascist stickers, be careful. You want to use a tool. Like, you need to have, like, a screwdriver or something on your keychain that you can scrape those off with, rather than trying to pull it off with your fingers. It's a shame that political drama content draws more clicks than political edutainment and other useful or wholesome content. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Graham Linehan, the most divorced man. True. It's really funny watching people destroy their lives because they can't shut the fuck up about trans people. Like, wowie. You know, since I've started making all of the live streams go live publicly after we're finished, like they used to be unlisted and now they're just public, almost every single live stream gets a yellow mark for like limited ads. And I think that it's because I cuss throughout them. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not going to stop doing that, but it is a little tiny bit of a bummer. Like, I don't really make ad money off of live streams. I do make some ad money off of like the regular videos that I post, if I can post regularly. Jesus, I have been mired in fucking depression for like 2 weeks, so it's kind of hard to get any videos stuff done. Glinner, Musk, Crowder. We need a divorced man tier list for all these weirdos. Don't forget Bezos. Don't forget Bezos. And, Jesus, what's his name? Microsoft man. Wow, I can see his face, but I'm totally blanking on the name. They were horrible enough to... Yes, Bill Gates. Yes, he got divorced recently, too. Thank you. I was like, I can see his face clear as day. The name is just failing me. I'm always much better with faces than I am with names. Although I feel like my memory has been a little bit worse lately for things like that. And that's like a little bit disturbing. But hey, we're going to have like repeat reinfections of COVID for the rest of our lives. So it's only going to get downhill from here. Yay. Not the most really, yeah. So Bill Gates is in another relationship and he's not yet out of that one. Yeah, nightmare blunt rotation. True. Yeah, we got Trump. Well, Trump is currently married. The niche you fill has been important. I've learned much about my NB cousins from you. Not all activism is confrontational, for sure. That's true. Although we did have some confrontational activism last week when we were on the transatlantic call-in show over on The Line, YouTube channel The Line. It's a call-in show where it was me and a trans woman who were hosting that week, and we had a couple of gender critical people call in. My voice, the audio was fucked up. I've talked to Jimmy about it. It is definitely not a representative of what my voice actually sounds like. So a little bit embarrassing on that, but otherwise it was a really great conversation. And we did do a little bit of conflict, but Yeah, I guess like that's not usually my thing. I do think it would be funny if we started attracting an audience of people who disagree. Because there, at one point there were like 370 people there or something along those lines. So that's definitely increasing the reach. I think I got a boost of like 40 or 50 subscribers as a direct result of going on the Transatlantic Call-In show. So that's highly beneficial to do in the future. It's going to be fun. You're a bit behind, Junebug. You've helped to create a majority trans space, which is really valuable. Is it? That's a question. I don't remember how to set up the vote thing. How do you set up the vote thing? How about just press 1 if you identify as trans and press 2 if you don't identify as trans? I want to get a quick count. Because I'm like, oh yeah, is this a majority trans space? I don't really know what the case is. I think we're getting mostly ones. Jesus, fucking YouTube chat is all ones today. All you folks in YouTube chat, did you know that I have a website where you can like contribute to this chat over here? I'd say mostly trans. Yeah, I realize that I gave you a dichotomy, a binary choice here. Jesus, YouTube chat is 100% trans people. What's up, y'all? 1 if you do, 2 if you don't. Yes. Does gender fluid count? It's about whether you I don't care whether about like it counts or not. Just do you personally, if you're not sure whether you identify as trans, then I would call that a no. If you're like, I'm not sure whether I'm trans, that means like you don't identify as that yet. You know? That's where the line is. I like to listen with screen off on mobile. Yo, I completely understand, Fishy. That's how I consume a lot of my YouTube content is. Also, shout out for another premium user, y'all. If you're annoyed by ad content, I really recommend getting YouTube Premium because it has a number of benefits, including I still get paid even if my video is demonetized by YouTube. Like YouTube Premium views, I still get paid for. I'm trans and fembi. True. Gender fluid and NB absolutely counts as trans. Like, personal opinion, here's my personal opinion. If you are non-binary or gender fluid, unless you are intersex, like, unless you were raised knowing that you're intersex, basically, no one is raised non-binary or gender fluid, really. So you are inherently identifying as a gender that's different from the one that you were assigned, you know? Love your early 2000s teen boy getup today. Does this evoke that particular era? I only got it a couple years ago. Do you get paid for live stream views from premium viewers? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. Like, because this is monetized and there are ads that happen throughout the video, like throughout the YouTube live stream. I recently turned on the thing where it does ads automatically. So, yeah, I still get paid. Yeah, just make a new account for premium every 3 months. With respect, your shirt does remind me of something Eminem has worn. Okay, it's supposed to be a baseball style tee. Theoretically, there could be an intersex person with ambiguous genitalia and features who could be raised non-binary and would therefore be a cisgender non-binary person, but I've never heard of that happening. Right. So, like, no matter what, if you don't fully identify with the gender that you were assigned or that is associated with your sex at birth, then, like, you are some flavor of trans. I get that some people aren't comfortable claiming the label, and that's fine. I just, you know... Happy Sunday! What's up, Monica? So there's like 56 viewers in here. That's awesome. If you have not yet hit like, please do that really quick or consider doing that really quick. It's quick, it's easy, it's free, and it immediately benefits the channel. I really appreciate you all. This is a viewer-supported show. So I don't take any sponsorships. I've never hosted any advertisements like that in that way on this channel. It's 100% viewer-supported, so your shares, your likes, your donations, your subscribes is all very useful. We appreciate you. Even the lurkers. We love the lurkers. Anyone have any idea how to get femme clothing without parents knowing? Cis guy for the most part, but want to try some stuff to see how I feel. That's tricky, Kumba. I think, you know, one of the things that I generally suggest to folks is that, like, if you're a cis guy for the most part and you want to experiment with your gender expression, one of the things that I first recommend doing is painting your fingernails black. Because I think that it's kind of more acceptable as a man to paint your fingernails black, you know, and because it's more, you can pass that off as being like, oh, you know, it's because I listen to metal, or like it's because of the music that I listen to, or like, you know, it's a goth metal thing. Exactly. Yes. Also, welcome to the website. I left not. Hello. Yeah, you know, it's something that you can like play with a little bit. I get all my femme clothing used to avoid parents noticing. Yeah, I think that you could go to like Goodwill or something by yourself. Like go to the local thrift store. You could maybe try out like kind of feminine socks, since that's not likely to draw like a lot of attention. Excuse me. When is this article from? Oh, wow, this is from 5 years ago. Meet the They Be Babies, kids raised without gender. There's a new movement to raise children without the pressure to conform to the gender assigned with their associated with their assigned sex. One of the many things expectant parents gush over is how to decorate their new arrival's room. There's a new movement arising inspiring expectant and new parents to replace gendered terminology like boy and girl with the new term they be. I think that's fucking stupid. I remember this, and I think it's so stupid. Like, just call it a baby. The word baby is already gender neutral. Stop being stupid. What constitutes a feminine sock? I don't know, like, if you got one with, like, a Disney princess on it, or, like, hot pink. I don't know, man. Like, Google programmer socks, true. Thrift stores that allow you to try out clothing is a godsend for trans peeps, but post-COVID, they are extremely hard to find. Yeah, you kind of just, like, have to buy stuff and then be willing to take it back, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of a bummer. Sorry, I had to BRB. No worries. I'm thinking, like, schoolgirl socks with little frills at the top. But yeah, I mean, there are, and you can try little things like accessorizing, like stuff, like, I don't know, you could probably find some kind of bracelet that maybe is like on the borderline of being masculine or feminine, depending on how thick it is. Honestly, I think that men's like wristwear tends to be just like wider, like thicker this way, you know, like woo, wider. So you could kind of try to get something that's like medium-ish sized and see if you can like get away with that. I got Envy and Ace socks to mix them together as combo pride socks. For sure. I used to have a lot of really great striped socks, and I don't anymore because a lot of them have holes in them, and I'm like, wow, I really don't want to spend like $25 for a pair of thigh-high socks. That sounds pretty ridiculous. Hello, Max! Welcome in. Hopefully everything is doing okay with you and your family and your little ones. Cosplay as Femboy Link and say you're going to Comic-Con. Listen, if I say I'm going to Comic-Con, you know that I have been replaced by a body double, okay? If I say that I'm gonna go to some crazy bullshit event, like Comic-Con or a fucking concert, like, you know that I have been replaced, or that I'm calling for help, because you know that I'm not gonna do that shit. I may have a bit of a major obsession with socks. I used to love socks so much, and I still like them, but I definitely have fewer options than I used to. You know when you have images in your head before you go to sleep? I think I had a dream about femboy Link in the Garuda outfit, and he was dancing to the My Pony song. I don't know the My Pony song. Thank God. Thank God. But yeah, like, so I don't disagree with this in principle, you know, raising your kid with like they, them pronouns. Like, I think what I would do if I had a little kid, like if I produced my own, no, it's not too stimulating. There is a deadly neurotoxin that everybody is breathing out. Okay, listen. I'm having some issues in my personal life with regards to like people around me not being COVID aware, and it's making me really pissed off and sensitive about it. But how, like, I bring this up so often. It's crazy to me that it's not on everyone's mind all the time. Like, there is a deadly disease that can give you dementia and a random heart attack sometime in the next 12 months, even if you have a totally asymptomatic case. And like, a lot of stillbirths are happening, and testing rates are down. So the only way that you can get an accurate view of how many people are sick is by testing the wastewater. And even that is going to be happening less going forward. Like, holy fucking God. I finally got a chance to like, yeah, no worries. Thank you, Tea Leaves. We always appreciate the lurkers, you know? I feel like there's no... Yeah, okay, so I don't think there's any way to realistically raise a child totally neutral. I think that I would be like, hey, like, I'm going to personally use they, them pronouns. And like, I don't really think it's possible to stop other people from gendering the kid. So I think that what needs to happen is that you just explain while the kid is growing up, like, hey, you know, generally this is how it goes. Like, generally people have penises or vaginas, and generally there is like an association with a gender there. And like, just try to like explain that a lot of people are cisgender, but plenty of people are trans, and that their parent is trans, and that that's okay, you know. So that is, I think, the best way to raise a kid in this binary system kind of thing, is like, you know, other people are going to have these expectations for you, and I want you to know that just because society is like that doesn't mean that that has any bearing on who you actually are. And like, so do our best at home to facilitate gender exploration and let them sort of lead that. But yeah, so like, yeah, it's not possible, I think, to reinforce it unless you're like, I'm going to cut off family members who gender my child. And that feels like a little bit extreme to me. Brain damage is so scary to me. Alzheimer's, dementia, etc. terrify me. The other day I forgot my coworker's name even though I had used it literally minutes before. I spent like 5 minutes sitting there trying to remember and having an itty-bitty panic attack. Yeah, thank you, Mama Mephistopheles. Like, I am having moments like that too sometimes. Like, I completely just forget my debit card PIN sometimes. And I've had this debit card for over a year. Like, it's not like an easy to remember number. Like, sometimes numbers sort of flow together in a way, and this number to me just doesn't flow, and that's part of why. But like, just dead ass completely forgetting your debit card and being like, okay, well, I have to switch and use my credit card. Like, that's terrifying. And I don't think people understand what it's like to feel like you're losing things about yourself. Like, losing the ability to do things, losing your memory. Like, it's fucking scary. So, yeah, yeah. Hello, Gay Fesh! I have increasing memory issues and it sucks so bad. Yeah, it's fucking awful. But anyway. Not trying to harp on COVID all day. It's a very unpopular topic. People really don't want to hear about it. I just solved the heat problem with my laptop by propping it up on a cookie rack. Nice. I mean, sometimes it just needs a little space. Needs a little space and ventilation. I dread losing the neural plasticity required to modify my beliefs more than anything. I have an irrational fear that COVID will turn me into a closed-minded douche. Right. I'm hoping it was just because I had been without my ADHD meds for a few days. Honestly, that's the tough thing too, is, you know, I have ADHD and associated memory problems, and like, I feel like it feels different when I like forget shit nowadays, like earlier when I blanked on Bill Gates, like I'm like that it doesn't feel the same as the other types of memory issues that I've had in the past. Like that kind of thing, like not being able to think of something in the moment is not what is typical for the types of things that I forget. Let's change to talking about cute things because this is getting into existential crisis territory. Can we watch some Slay the Dragon stuff before we do political stuff? We do have some positive stuff planned for today. But yeah, sorry, I just fucking lose my mind sometimes. Evidence of dilfication. Oh yeah, Ganon. Why is this version of Ganon so fucking hot? And like the Demon King, like what happened? They really didn't have to go this hard. I want some pictures of him with the long hair. Yeah, bro, like this just was unnecessary. Why did you need to do this? I don't I don't know why. You had to make this man so sexy. I've been playing a shit ton of this game over the last week. That's part of why I have not been as productive as I normally would like. I mean, really, like I would have shut down and started thinking about other stuff anyway. It just so happened that this was the thing that I was able to escape into this week. So he's literally a super hot demon. What are those vines behind you attached to? I want to hang some vines. So it honestly looks kind of like really shitty up there because it's basically just a, it's like, I have like a dowel rod and they're kind of just like draped over it. So you can't really see, but like the top part is like thicker than the bottom part because they're folded sort of in half. And then that's just like really shittily attached to the wall. Like there's just a pole up there basically, like just like a stick that has the drape over it kind of thing going on. Anyway, I wish I could spend more time on Zelda, but too busy with Honkai Star rail farming. Everything I've seen pretty much makes Tears of the Kingdom one of the hottest video games of all time. I kind of should get it. I think it's great, but also it costs $70. And I need to get a pro controller because I have drift, you know, with my Joy-Cons. So I aim by doing this with the machine, you know? You get the gyro effect and you aim your bow. It fucking sucks when you get drift. And you're like, I'm even pointed at the thing. And it's like, ugh. Very, very dumb. I still haven't finished Breath of the Wild. Here's my hot take. Oh, bad news. I got drift on my Pro Controller. Fuck. Well, at least if it's new, then it'll last for a while, right? My partner has not said anything about having drift on his Pro Controller. And he's had it for a while. What's up, Zuki Tanuki? I had some snail duty in the garden. Oh, are you having to cull some snails? It only started drifting this year, and I bought it when the console was new. So they last longer. Like, I have not had my OLED Switch for very long. I don't really, well, I guess it's been over a year. Maybe it's been like 2 years. I don't know. I'm gonna be so pissed once my special edition OLED starts drifting. Right, because there's not really a way for you to get the special controllers again, right? You just have to get like whatever ones they send you. Does that stand for something? Yeah, it's I can't remember what the first word is, but it's like LEDs. You know, liquid What does fucking LED stand for? The, like, LED lights. It has to do with the screen. The screen is, like, special. It's a bigger screen, and it's got higher fidelity, and it's better. I had to buy a Pro Controller because my Joy-Con drift was messing up my Splatoon gameplay. There's a simple DIY fix for drift, but I think it voids the warranty. Yeah, you can just ask for them to send you new Joy-Cons, and you can say it's because they're drift, and they don't even ask you to send the old ones back. They just, by policy, they just send out you free new Joy-Cons because it's understood to be an issue. Later, Ela, enjoy recording your podcast. Light-emitting diode. Not liquid crystal, not LCD, LEDs. Organic light-emitting diode. So yeah, the screen is bigger and it's different. And I play handheld, like, overwhelmingly the majority of the time. I'm like, because I played Game Boy when I was a kid, right? Liquid estrogen dispenser, true! Yeah, I've been having some fun with that. It's been a good time. I don't know. The Lizzo thing is, like, heartwarming, but it is also... Okay. There's like a Lizzo thing, but it's like heartwarming, but it's also like sad. So I don't know if that's sticking with our positivity posting. I would have no idea who Lizzo is if right-wingers didn't complain about her so much. Yeah, let's watch this little Lizzo thing, I guess. Because she's just a sweetheart. She's just a sweet lady, and I love her. Remember the picture of Gerudo Femboy link being spread everywhere for different articles? Oh yeah, someone asked earlier. I missed responding to it at that moment. But yes, Ganon is a Gerudo man. I'm pretty sure that he, like, has some female Gerudo troops. Spoilers in one of the memories that you uncover. Is Lizzo on political news again? No, it's that she said something nice and affirming during one of her concerts. Let's see. Okay, I want to turn this down. Oh, speaking of 3D printing, since someone just mentioned 3D printing, I made this. So it's black filament. I used black filament. You can see the black filament, but then I painted it with, I have some acrylic marker. It's not, I think it's like for painting on acrylics. I don't know. But I have, like, I made it purple and silver, and you can see I made, like, some cute little pretend writing on there. Just like some cool runic designs or whatever. That was just for my funsies. And this is gonna be for one of my orchids. It's an orchid pot because orchids need a lot of air. You put, like, a tree bark and sphagnum moss in. I think that this might actually be a little bit too small, but it was cool. I always print things slightly smaller than I mean to on my printer. But, I mean, it's pretty neat. I didn't design it, by the way. I just printed it. That's what I'm good at doing. So we love show and tell. I recommend getting the, I don't know if it's called the Tarantula Pro anymore. It used to be called the TiVo Tarantula Pro, but then TiVo got bought out. But if you can find the equivalent, it's a very good printer, and it just kind of works. If, like, you take it out of the box, you assemble it, and it just kind of fucking works. It'll look great with the orchid. Yeah, I'm gonna plant my purple orchid in this one. I don't know if it's gonna continue flowering, because I let it get a little too dry. I'm gonna make a Shadow Gerudo Link outfit. Ooh. That's really cool. What? Sphagnum moss. Sphagnum moss. Like, Sphagnum moss. Is it just sphagnum? I thought it was sphagnum. No, it's sphagnum. Trying to throw me off. How dare you? Y'all are trying to play with me. Oh my god, my computer just like... Sphagnum, true. Sphagnum PI. Yeah, so let's see if we can pull up this Lizzo thing. Jesus, that's loud on my end. My desk space is huge. Okay, here we go.
And anybody who comes to a Lizzo show should know that I am for people to have the right to health care.
It was kind of hard to hear because of the crowd being so loud, but she said, I think people have the right to health care, reproductive and gender affirming.
And there's times I get very political, and as adults, we feel it, but there's children here tonight. And it really breaks my heart that there are young people growing up in a world that doesn't protect them.
I feel like she's actually choking up right now. It's like making me want to choke up. She's like, it breaks my heart that there are like people who don't want to protect them. So this is like the wholesome shit, you know?
So, let me be your safe space tonight and just tell you, young people.
Thank you so much, Maria Knickerbocker, for the $15 dono. Wishing you the best with homeschooling your siblings. Thanks for keeping us up to date on what's going on with in this crazy world. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. I will update that thingy.
Don't let anybody tell you who you are. Don't let any laws tell you who you're not, bitch. You are, I'm sorry saying bitch, I'm just
She's like, I'm addressing children, and I just said, like, don't let anybody tell you who you are, bitch. Like, I love her so much.
Don't let any laws tell you who you're not. You are who you are, okay? I see you. You are valid. You deserve to be here in every form. You contain multitudes. These laws are not real. You are what's real. And you deserve to be protected.
Like, come on, Lizzo. This feels so good for someone with a huge platform like her to just be out right there, just being like, no, like, these laws are not real. You are real. And, like, don't let anybody fuck with you on this. I don't even listen to her music. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've ever listened to a Lizzo song. And I don't even really care to. I don't really love listening to music most of the time. So I'm probably not going to start now. But, like, as a human being, she's spectacular.
You deserve to be protected. And for anyone whose inner child needed to hear that, you deserve to be protected, too.
She's also just, like, really beautiful. Like, I love this dress on her. It's gorgeous.
Song is dedicated to all of y'all. Let's have a good time, okay?
Yeah, I can't, again, like, I'll complain about the concert itself being a thing that human beings shouldn't do right now, but, like, that, it's still good to hear. You should listen to About Damn Time. It's a great disco track from her. Ooh. You should if you like pop. Pop is... Okay, she must be protected too. She is precious. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, if this is going to result in any backlash on her, because I know that she has done stuff like flagrantly have drag shows at her events in, like, Tennessee and stuff. So I guess she's kind of doing this, like, I have a lot of money and therefore a lot of influence and like, I can get away with doing shit. So I don't know, like, it remains to be seen how that's gonna go moving forward. About Damn Time is good. Hope she doesn't get backlash. You know, I don't know if this is really going mainstream. John Get Bent, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. I really, really appreciate that. Y'all are being generous today, and that's amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Yeah, damn, who's cutting onions in here? Like, holy shit. Wish more people did that. As long as we live in a society where the rich and wealthy have more power than us, this stuff is definitely helpful. Right. I don't want to downplay that. It's like it sucks that that's the system that we're in, but also people who have that kind of influence need to start using it. It needs to be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'm going to publicly start funding a bunch of Democratic campaigns. It's not like good that we live in a society that is controlled by who has the most money, but so long as we do, we need people to start fucking making moves. This is why the right wing hates her. I mean, the right wing hates her more for what she is than for what she says, I think. Like her being a fat black woman who is like clearly has the aerobic health to like run around on a stage and play flute and sing, like, which is very cardio intensive kind of shit to do. Like, yeah. And she knows that she's beautiful and talented and doesn't like hedge on that, you know, those things make her hated already. We can't change the system, but we can at least abuse it for creating the changes we need. Same reason my day job is selling disability products. I hate that disability products aren't provided for free, but until they are, I will do what I can within the system to fight for the disability community to have safer lives. Yeah, I mean, I would love it if the entire system could collapse and in a way that doesn't cause mass death, and that we could then rebuild from like something better, like build towards something better. That would be great. I just don't think that that's realistic. And I mean, like, even if there is some kind of societal collapse, I think that a lot of people are going to die during it. So that's going to be unfortunate. Jimmy Nails, thank you so much for the $20 dono. Y'all, like, I really, really appreciate it. Yes, yes, yes. I'm working on paying off those taxes. I still have the GoFundMe going, but I might not end up needing to get to the full amount. So that's kind of why I haven't been plugging it as much, because I'm like, maybe I'll have enough money in a couple of months to have it paid off anyway without being like, let me push the GoFundMe every fucking day. Because, like, yeah, I don't know, it just feels bad, man. Even though it is, like, obviously it's different for my taxes, and, like, GoFundMe can be preferable for certain things in that way. But yeah, I mean, it's been crazy successful so far, so thank you, everybody. It's crazy to me how insane conservatives get at the mere sight of a fat woman, and I'm literally trans. I mean, I think that they just need to hate somebody, and it's easy to hate ugly people, and like people associate fatness with ugliness. I don't really get it. Or it could be, I honestly am starting to think, like I was reading about this recently, and I believe I'm starting to be convinced that underlying everything is ableism. Like, I do think that underlying potentially all systemic bigotries is some form of ableism. Like, racism was originally, I mean, at some point in the past, racism was allegedly, at least, predicated on the idea that black people are genetically inferior. And, like, fat people are allegedly unhealthy, even if they're running around playing a flute and singing and like running at the same time, which is crazy. Like, the fact that you're fat, I guess, means that you can't possibly be healthy, allegedly. And like, people hate trans people because they think that it's a mental illness, that like fundamentally that's ableist. Fundamentally, people think women are biologically inferior to men, which is ableism. There's some argument in history about which came first, the racism or the slavery. Yeah. I'm sure that it's hard to pin down for sure. The idea that people can be gorgeous and fat scares their ideas about beauty being... Oh, scares them because their ideas about beauty might be wrong. Same reason that beautiful trans women scare conservatives and drag scares conservatives. They're like, yeah, I refuse and I will only acknowledge the types of things that I find attractive. Like, it, you know, I've been telling my kids, if you dye your hair black and wear black lipstick and you dress all goth, you're never gonna get a husband. And then they meet someone else who's exactly like that and they settle down or whatever, and like people just can't handle the idea that freaks can be happy. Because I think other people try so hard to conform that for them, the idea of transgressing and being successful means that they sacrificed a lot and they didn't need to, maybe. Anyway, yeah, ableism is at least entwined in all of them. Conservatives attempt to define anyone they hate as some kind of broken person. That's insane. Nobody wants to marry a goth chick. I know. It's like the elusive goth GF top is in high demand right now. Conservatives weird me out. I just don't get it. And like and like the fact that like that conservative talking points, like this week I witnessed someone who I generally consider to be liberal and progressive saying that avoiding going to super spreader events right now is like, or no, that wasn't exactly the context. Someone was basically saying like, you know, if you avoid certain indoor events right now, that you're hiding from people. And it's like, I was like, wow, I really did not realize that like the COVID denier Trump follower rhetoric was spreading so far into like otherwise liberal progressive people's mindsets. But like, it's fucked up to me. It's really fucked up to me. And it's always someone who's not disabled, of course, who accuses you of hiding and letting fear drive your life. Like, yeah, man, fucking being disabled is terrifying in a world where like society is willing to just let you die. Oh my God. Big titty goth chick is a porn category now. That's amazing. I'll be goth till I'm 90. I don't give a fuck. Right. I'm just lazy. I am goth. I'm just fucking lazy. The more you piss off conservatives, the more attractive you secretly are to them. Wait, what? The things conservatives hate are the same things that become porn kinks. Like, do they actually hate it? I don't know. It's okay to be afraid of a deadly disease, actually. Right. Like, sometimes fear is the correct... Sometimes fear is a calculated and correct reaction. Like, if you hear a lot of domestic disputes in your neighborhood, if you frequently hear that there's like a few people in your area who frequently have fights with their partners or whatever, like, you know that you shouldn't go outside at night. If you hear about someone brandishing a gun in a conflict in your neighborhood, you know that the safe thing to do is not go outside at night because you are afraid that if you go outside, you might get shot or something. And that is a rational, proportional, appropriate response. When conservatives were freaking out about Kim Petras being on the cover of SI and calling anyone who was attracted to her gay, it just shows how disingenuous you are. Like, if you can claim that you're attracted to chromosomes instead of a face, a body, titties, or a good booty, I cannot take you seriously as a person. They know how ridiculous that claim is, yet they make it anyway, asking you to ignore the evidence of your eyes and ears to enforce their agenda. Yeah, like, I don't think any serious person could claim that, like, I actually am not attracted to a person until I know what their chromosomes are. I can just imagine two cisheads sitting around like, dang, she got some chromosomes on her, dog. They thick. Totally. It's like in grade school when someone would do a fake out punch and then make fun of you for flinching. Like, damn, my body reacted totally normally. So many TERFs get their chromosome tests only to find out they're intersex. No, really? Is that actually a thing? She got some big natty XXs. I didn't know that. Maybe because I've blocked a lot of TERFs on Twitter. I had no idea that it was a meme now that like TERFs get chromosome tests and then find out that they're intersex. Dude, I wish that we could get broader numbers on how common it actually is to have chromosomal differences. Like, it could be as big as like 10%, but we just don't do broad testing. There's like 72 people here, which is amazing. If you've not yet hit like, consider hitting like. We've already got a few donos in today. If you have $5 to spare from your tax refund, I would appreciate it. I owe like $1,000 in taxes. Actually, I might end up owing. I think that actually I'm gonna owe more in taxes than I originally thought. So yeah, I actually maybe will need to start boosting the GoFundMe again. But anyway, theoretically, all we need is a good enough sample to test. What do you think would be a good sample size for figuring out how frequent chromosomal anomalies are? I feel like 20,000 people would be a good start. But the thing is that, you know, you can't have them all from the same area. What if there's more chromosomally intersex people in areas where there have been toxic spills in the United States? That would be fucking hilarious. From someone from 10,000 to 100,000. Yeah, excuse me. I think Katie Montgomery did a relevant cartoon. I was almost a little bit bummed out that Katie was not the one who was on the Transatlantic Call-In show with me last week, but I think that it was mostly just because I did not know Arden as well. I had watched some episodes with Katie, and I follow Katie on Twitter, but I had not as much familiarity with Arden, but she was awesome. I want to see the look on their face. There is a reason why we don't do, you know, there's like that, that's like a trope from movies in the 90s, maybe, or maybe it was just one movie. I saw one movie where like a girl was in a college or maybe late high school biology class, and they were doing chromosome testing, and she like, I think she was like black, and she had a black mom, and she found out that she was half white by doing this like blood test, chromosomal whatever bullshit in the class. And it's like, that kind of shit is the reason why we don't do casual blood testing in classes like that, because people like find out that they're intersex, or they find out that their mom cheated on their dad. Or I think in that case it was like that the mom had a sperm donor, and the sperm donor was like a white dude. I don't know, whatever. It's a fucking 90s movie. 5K would be in range for a good collegiate sample size. 20K would be pretty amazing. And then repeat that like 10 times. I think you're onto something there with the chemical spills. Seems to be true where I lived, and my biological father was a research chemist, along with my father, who raised me, worked in a chemical plant. Mother worked in medical research near a spill zone one time. I'm intersex, and there are a number of people in my area with chromosomal issues. I'm not really surprised to hear that. There's so many different genes that switch on and off on the way to you becoming male or female, that there are like a ton of failure points. That's why there are so many different kinds of intersex conditions. Obviously, is like everybody kind of starts out with the blueprint of female and then gradually changes into male. And so like on the way to becoming male, there are numerous failure points where differences can occur. Failing at gender is a great t-shirt. I feel like I'm doing a very good job at gender. I succeed. Oh, here's a good one. I'm so gender. One more time. Anyway, what a lovely little guy. Yeah. Ah! Just screaming. I wish I could find the clip, but there was part of the Lance from the Surfs / Tim Pool debate where Pim Tool unironically says he thinks it's gay for a man to be attracted to a trans woman. They're fundamentally fucking so stupid. Like, they clearly have never had an interaction with someone on hormones. They don't have any idea like how dramatically different your body is after about a year on cross-sex hormones. Yeah. Just, That is, unironically, a great representation of what it's like to exist nowadays. Oh shit, we have Neat. Now I need to upload it. Thank God EB the Purple made that. I am so terrible at checking messages though. I have it open. I need to go in and save the Neat. I'm not sure how to make it flash, and she said that she would ask Demon Mama about that, so I need to figure that out. Gender euphoria, though, a joy the cis will never know. So I disagree that the cisgenders will not know what gender dysphoria is. I really reject, and I'm not coming after you, Kylie, on this one. I'm just like, I've noticed this rhetoric more and more, and I want to make a point to speak against it when it pops up, is like, I don't think that the experience of gender dysphoria or gender euphoria are unique to trans people, and I think that pushing that is fundamentally alienating. It means that, like, what you're trying to say is, like, cis people can never understand what it's like to be trans, which makes it seem like our experience is fundamentally different from the average human being. But actually, when a cis woman gets her eyebrows plucked and gets her hair done and gets her nails done and gets a new fresh makeup look, like, that is like a type of gender euphoria. Or when a man starts going to the gym because he feels like he's not manly enough, and then he starts to get the results and his muscles are growing, that's gender euphoria. I think dysphoria and euphoria can occur in anyone, including cis people. I just think trans people are more aware of it. Sort of like how neurodiverse and neurotypicals both are bad at understanding what others mean, but neurodiverse people are more self-aware when it happens. Yeah, when Matt Walsh dyes his beard. Absolutely. When Elon Musk gets hair plugs. Yeah. Honestly, do you even need to meet a trans person to know? If you look at Kim Petras, you should just get it. She meets every beauty standard of the modern day. I think there's something visceral that people are missing out on. Like, that, you know, people think, oh, you can look like a woman. Yeah, if you get enough plastic surgery, of course, you can make yourself look like a woman. That's not the same thing as being a woman, because there's like an experiential difference in flavor, you know, that is like, I learned that skincare is entirely a scam besides sunscreen. I think that, like, certain types of skincare are good, but mostly, like, I think that I have psoriasis or eczema on my face, and I'm not sure which one it is, and so I do think I need some kind of actual dermatological care, but I'm probably not going to ever get it. So, but the entire reason people get skincare products is dysphoria. It's like, I guess you could call it age dysphoria. Finster looks like a woman. I am a woman. Yeah, there's like the like taste and touch and smell, like the flavor of someone that changes with hormones. Like, that is something that I think is a little bit harder to understand if you haven't experienced it. Like, you know, Kim Petras doesn't just look like a woman. Like, she is a woman in all of the significant ways that you experience a woman intimately. The mouthfeel, literally, yeah. It's all about the mouthfeel. It always comes back to the mouthfeel. Is that Natalie Wynn's opus? Is that like her opus? That's like her major contribution to the discourse, is the mouthfeel. It must needs be remarked. Moisturizers, help because they keep the skin from drying out, but they're just weaker than wearing sunscreen. Somali for genitals. Let me get a little taste. You gotta aerate it a little bit. You gotta get a taste for it. Anyway. Hello, are we in the weeds yet with the politics, or are we still just chilling? It flows in and out, you know, Ariel? We haven't started on any of our segments for the day yet, but we will be momentarily. It must needs be remarked. Anyway, I feel like if there's something to be remembered for, it's like the mouthfeel is a pretty good thing to be remembered for, you know? Even if, and I'm not saying that she is, but even if Natalie Wynn were to fall off the deep end, and you know, every leftist is so disappointed in her for being such a lib. Even if she were to fall completely off the deep end, she would still have contributed the mouthfeel to the discourse, and that is certainly worth it. Skincare is anti-aging a scam? Yeah, this is, yeah. I think that unless you have like actually eczema and something is medically assigned to you, then yes, it's mostly just age dysphoria. And it's like impossible to learn if there is anything about skincare that is legitimate because it is such a huge money-making industry. Just like it's kind of hard to learn about adequate nutrition and things like that. And if you were to try to find some kind of dietary supplement for your workout, that's a very predatory industry as well. I have eczema. Try limiting dairy or gluten. I'd stay away from steroid creams. I use like, what brand is it right now? I think I have CeraVe brand body lotion. It's like body cream. I don't know. I use it after I shower. That's pretty much it though. I feel like we need to stop pretending the worst thing people can turn out to be is a lib. Yeah. I get occasional eczema, maybe one breakout every year or two, so I just have some cream somewhere whenever a breakout happens. I mean, I don't know what it is. Like, which side of my face is it on? It's this side. I get, like, really uncomfortable, dry, scaly patches on my face over here sometimes, and down here a little bit sometimes, and I don't know exactly what it is. But it's, like, red and irritated, and it's like, if it's psoriasis, then that means I have an autoimmune disorder. Scales, yeah, that's just Lux being a dragon. True. I'm slowly converting. I'm transitioning biologically into a dragon. For me, it's elbows. Yeah. So that, I don't know what that is. And then that's a different texture from this other skin thing that I have on my hips. Like my left hip especially. I have like a bunch of spots everywhere that are just like little mild rashy spots, and my doctor is like, I think that's eczema, since it's especially prominent after I take a shower. But ContraPoints invented the mouthfeel. Yeah, as it relates to trans genitalia at least, because the mouthfeel is a term that exists within wine tasting. So it was her kind of taking the wine tasting thing and applying it to trans girls' penises having a different mouthfeel. I've talked with my therapist about this. I think I very well could be trans. It's just that it's seriously such a bad time to transition in this country that I'm too afraid to transition. I think that's a legitimate fear. You know, I have considered recently, like, should I change my driver's license back to female? Because I changed it in 2016 to male because I was thinking like I'll probably end up getting top surgery, or at least like I'm going to present as male to keep myself safe. But nowadays, I don't want top surgery and I don't like binding in public. So it's like, at this point, am I going to basically try to stealth as male when I'm in public so that I can use the male restroom, even though it's like going to be illegal in Kansas for me to do that? Like, I should legally use the female restroom starting on July 1st, but that's the space that's going to have scrutiny on it. So if I go into the female restroom and someone accosts me about my gender, my ID says male, you know? So I'm kind of thinking, like, should I change it back? Like, so when people are telling me that they're struggling with the idea of starting to transition, I completely get it. You know, if you feel like you could go without physical transition for a couple years, maybe that's a good idea. Like, I can't help you make that choice. Maybe you want to try like a low dose of a testosterone blocker first and see if that kind of just helps you feel a little bit better. Even if it would mean like a very slow transition. You wouldn't really, you might start to develop breast tissue because you do naturally produce some estrogen, but it would probably be not as noticeable as if you were to start estrogen. So you could try something like that. But at the same time, like maybe you want to instead save your money and move to somewhere safer and then start your transition related care. You know, it's like gonna be up to you for sure. It would be cheaper to just carry around magnetic female restroom signs to cover the other sign. Unisex signs. Yeah, I'm just gonna slap a unisex sign on before I go into this restroom. If you feel safe in the men's room, then you should go there. Whichever one you can support with your documents is going to have less risk. Yeah, no, and like, I think that going into the male restroom constitutes less risk, even though men are the scary demographic in this situation, because, like, the scrutiny is going to be on the female restroom. Like, there's going to be more question about whether you should be in the women's room than there is going to be question about whether you should be in the men's room. But still, like, it is still dangerous. Like, going into the men's room, I'm in most cases, I'm going to wear a mask. Maybe I can make my voice sound deeper so, like, I can pass that way. But I am still at risk for, like, bullshit like corrective rape, which is scary. Excuse me. Oh, wow, that's awful. It's really scary to be like, if someone clocks me, they could try to sexually assault me. Be, you know, that whole chestnut when you're like, when they're like, oh, you think you're a boy, huh? Let me teach you. Corrective rape. I hate that we have to have this conversation. Yeah. And like, if I were to travel somewhere, I would have to check the state laws so that I don't accidentally, like, break the law in Iowa or something. If I'm like, oh, I'm going to travel to Minnesota or like Illinois to see some people that I know, and I'm traveling through a couple of states, like, I got to look up those states and figure out whether it's safe for me to even make a restroom stop there. I still go to the women's room most of the time because they're usually cleaner. I was at a drag bar where it was labeled stalls and urinals and just stalls on the door. That's nice. I like that. I'm glad my state has an X option for documents. Only a few people have it so far. Yeah, my state doesn't do a non-binary designation on the driver's license. And even if it did, I don't know if that's the best option. Like, I don't know if that's the safest thing to do. When I get my passport, I'll probably put an X on my passport because the part of the point of me having a passport is, like, being able to get into a country where it's safer for me to be trans. So I want it to be like, hey, it's obvious that I'm trans when I go to this country, and then I will have one piece of documentation that is accurate. One. If someone wants to make some money, they would make a killing by selling unisex bathroom stickers for the anarchist out there. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, I have never really considered doing an actual run of stickers. Merch is something that is such a huge topic that I'm like, wow, I probably should have merch at this point. 83 concurrent viewers, by the way. Thank you all so much for being here. We have some various political conversations to get into today. We've been having some kind of free-flowing political conversations so far, so thank you. If you're enjoying it, if you have not yet hit like, go ahead and hit like for me. It's quick, it's easy, and we have several topics that we're prepared to get into shortly. You know, we've kind of been having this bathroom conversation, so we'll probably watch this video here soon of a lesbian being, like, we can see the video of the cops removing her from the bathroom. That's what we're gonna watch today. Dragon bathroom signs, that would be funny. Speaking of anarchist and merch, how's Doe doing? I saw that Doe was replying to something that Sock Done Left posted just today. So, I don't know Doe personally, but it seems to be doing okay. Doe is the kind of person that I would like to be friends with, but also, like, it's really impossible to be like, hi, I want to be friends with you. Like, you know, I'm just gonna continue trying to establish and work on the friendships that I already have, I guess. I keep thinking you're part of their group. I should be, shouldn't I? Lol. What would dragon bathroom signs even look like? I think you would just have to have, like, a pretty generic symbol of a dragon, like a nice outline of a dragon. Are you a wyvern or a gronkle? Oh, thank you, Jessica. Luxander's take on gender dysphoria and euphoria is based and has fundamentally changed how I think about this issue. That's awesome. I am so glad that I am rhetorically convincing. What really throws me for a loop is single stall bathrooms that are gendered. Why? Why? When you were on the line, you listed they, them. Are you not using it, its anymore? No, I think what happened is Jimmy didn't bother to ask what my pronouns are because I've been using they, them pronouns for such a long time. So he just didn't ask me. Also, like, I don't know. That's a good question. On a show that's going to have like 300 viewers, am I going to have it, its pronouns in that platform? Am I going to invite that kind of conversation? I mean, that could be fun. And I'm also the only non-binary person who's hosted the show, I think. So it could mean that we would get more acrimonious conversations, which is always fun. Like, because then we would even get trans people who would argue with me about my pronouns, which could be a lot of fun. Yeah, maybe I should tell Jimmy, like, hey, by the way, I use it, its, and they, them. Like, I prefer it, its primarily, but they, them is like, okay, fine. Yeah, I was on the Transatlantic Call-In show last week. My audio was all fucked up, but I think that I did a really good job arguing and stuff. So if you go watch it, I think it would be good. The spicy callers would get spicier talking about non-binary people, it, its pronouns, and xenogenders. Yeah, I mean, if I guess they do a lot more on the line, and the Transatlantic Call-In show specifically, they do some calls that are just like giving trans people advice. So I actually don't know if the Transatlantic Call-In show, if it is meant to have that kind of argumentative thing. I assume that because it's like the atheist experience. Like, that's the point of all these call-in shows, is to like have these kind of debate conversations, at least in my opinion. But on the Transatlantic Call-In show, we had like I think we had 6 callers total, maybe more than that, but at least 4 of the callers were just like trans people who wanted to talk about trans issues. It's meant to be that way. They prioritize the spicy callers. Yeah, so maybe I should talk to Jimmy and like ask, because I guess I didn't even notice that there were pronouns, or maybe I just forgot about it. I wonder if they've ever had nominal Naomi on. I'm not sure. I called in but didn't get to talk because I had to go to electrolysis at 3 and it started at 2. Did you like Katie and or Arden? I was on with Arden and she was amazing. She got really spicy and pissed off at Gabriel at one point. Gabriel was a Jordan Peterson fan. So that was great. I just realized pre-show waiting music is our generation's version of elevator music. Angry Arden makes me scared and horny. She's great. I thought that she was awesome. I might even watch the Transatlantic Call-In show sometimes now. Maybe. I gotta drink water. Holy fucking God. I literally wrote an elevator music version of Imp Mother's Lullaby, DM's theme. You gotta have like a little waiting screen sometimes. I still haven't figured out LMMS. I really just collapsed into Zelda this week and fucking haven't done very much of anything productive. So let me find this video that we're gonna respond to. It's about time for a segment, don't you think? I think it's about time we start a little segment talking about this cis lesbian getting kicked out of the bathroom. Yeah, yes, I have the link to that video. I appreciate the tips. I just haven't sat down to get started on it. I downloaded the program and I just haven't sat down to actually work on it at all. Oh my God, I need a shower. My skin is so dry. Good grief. What's LMMS? It's music making software. It used to stand for like Linux multimedia something, but it doesn't have Linux in the name anymore. Oh gosh. We've been having these bathroom conversations for a while. It's started in 2016 with North Carolina restricting teenagers from being able to use the correct bathroom in schools, and it's just kind of spiraled out from there. But it actually started being an issue for people before the actual illegalities came up. Because remember, y'all, before 2016, when people started passing bathroom bills across the country, there weren't any legal limitations on who is allowed to use which public facilities. They're separated by men and women, and private businesses and institutions can go in and say like, hey, this is supposed to be a women's bathroom and you have short hair, and like force people to deal with the extra scrutiny on that. Like, I don't really think in most places there have been any actual laws on the books about whether you're supposed to use one bathroom or another. That's why this conversation has been so frustrating, is because it already is legal for men to go in to women's rooms because there is no law against them doing that. And so that's why this shit is so frustrating, because, you know, why are you trying to make a law saying, oh, you know, with all these trans people around, men can just dress up like women and go into the women's room to assault women? Like, okay, but if that was going to happen, it already would be happening. So you're making up a problem that doesn't exist, right? That's part of why it's so frustrating. Before I continue, I just want to say, if you're enjoying the content, if you like the news that I bring you, hit the like button really quick, consider subscribing, clicking the bell for notifications, join the Discord if you want to, and consider dropping me a dono or becoming a Patreon member. This is my full-time job, is going over this news, understanding the laws, talking about it with you, and sharing this info and sharing this space with y'all. So if you appreciate it, I appreciate your likes and your appreciation. So this is a video from 2015. I remember this video when it came out. It's from ages ago, but I want you to know and understand that trans people are not the only people affected by these laws. In fact, we are probably not even going to be the people who are primarily impacted by these laws, because there aren't very many trans people compared to how many cisgender women there are who just are gender nonconforming, like who have short hair, or who are into sports and are therefore muscular, or who dress in a way that is not feminine enough. So the kind of people who are largely going to be impacted by bathroom bills are cisgender women who aren't gender conforming enough. And while it should be good enough for you to know that this makes being trans dangerous as well, like, we are not the only people who are going to be affected by this. But like, yeah, I just want to say before we continue too far in this segment that I live in Kansas, and the law has recently been passed to restrict bathroom access. And even if it gets paused by the ACLU, and even if it gets struck down in the courts, what we're still going to be dealing with is this culture. This culture existed before any of these laws. This idea that you get to question who's in the bathroom, what they're doing, you know, what they have in their pants, disturbing people's peace while they're trying to just use the facilities. So what we are going to deal with still is that increased scrutiny. And I want you to see what that's like. I want you to know what happens. Let's get the volumes all fucking figured out, y'all. Okay, hold on. I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit. Okay. That's probably good. So this is hold on. So this is what that looks like when you are not feminine enough. And this is a cisgender lesbian. This is a cis woman who is, I guess, in line in the bathroom, or maybe waiting for one of her friends to come out. And she's just not gender conforming enough for someone who called the cops on her. Let's go.
This is a girl, and you guys are harassing her because she's a dyke.
And I'm in the back. I'm a fucking female.
This is a girl.
Do I have to tell you again?
You have ID?
No, I do not.
Get out.
Get out.
Then out. You got no ID, get out.
This is a cop, see the cop right there, demanding to see this woman's ID and ejecting her from the restroom, attempting to eject her from the restroom. And like, they dropped the slur in there because, you know, but yeah, like, she says, or she was saying like, you're bothering her because she's a dyke, like because she's a masculine lesbian. And that's like where we're at with this.
This is so sad.
She's trying to just ignore.
Oh, and she's a girl and you're yelling in her face. That's crazy. Don't worry, I got you. I got you.
on me again, bro.
Wow, look what you. Oh, okay.
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Man,
That is your fucking girl.
I'm fucking.
That is your girl.
Let's go. Let's go. You have no.
And like that's like the typical thing that I hear people say when they get accosted in the bathroom. Like butch women who get accosted in the bathroom usually say like, I'm a female, and it just does not get across to people. Just does not at all get across.
Let's go. Time to go, sir.
So you're saying you had to have an ID to go to the bathroom?
Get out of my way. Go. You can all leave if you
We're
want.
all leaving. We are all leaving. Like I said, this is a girl. Don't put your hands on a girl.
Let's go. Come on. No ID.
That's fucking. I don't. No ID.
So yeah, that's like a stressful minute-long video from years ago about, yeah, so like that's a male officer entering a female space in order to eject a cisgender female. Literally needing an ID to use the bathroom. This is why I will never accept cops at Pride. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. They are fundamentally opposed to our interests, unfortunately. Like, there is no way to coexist with people whose job it is to be the gun pointed at your head on behalf of the state that rules over your life. And like, to be clear, again, that's from like 2015. A cisgender female being ejected by a male cop and like putting hands on her, demanding to see her ID. And just to reinforce that point, I know that we already talked about it last week. I still need to put the video up on the channel. Hopefully it is by now if you're seeing this on YouTube in the future later. But like, Florida, having just passed an anti-trans bathroom bill, is also absolutely willing to throw cisgender people who are not conforming enough under the bus. Take a look at this. People accused of being trans in the bathroom in Florida could be forced to undergo DNA tests and genital exams. Look at this. If a trans person should be reported to the facility and refuse to leave or not comply with the law, penalties will be qualified as trespass. So this is basically establishing a crime where if you are in the opposite sex bathroom from what you were assigned at birth, like if you're a trans person using the correct bathroom for who you are as a human being, then you will be arrested for trespassing, potentially. And that could incriminate a person up to 1 year. And then the jail, obviously, according to Aaron Reed points out that they will probably be put in a jail not corresponding with their gender identity, which puts them in danger of risk of sexual assault. And like, just down here, people using restrooms who are accused of being trans also will be obligated to undergo genitalia exams, DNA testing, and other invasive procedures. So if you are a cisgender person who is not gender conforming, if you're like that lesbian in the video we just watched, you would need to provide your identification. But if your ID says female and they're not convinced by that because you can legally have changed your ID in previously, then they're going to say, well, I need to see your pussy. And then if you do submit to a genital exam, they might say like, well, you could have had a surgery. That could be a post-surgical vagina. Therefore, we actually need DNA testing, or we need to do a internal exam to determine whether you have a uterus or not. Like, this is not just going to affect trans people. They're just blatantly going, yeah, we don't care if you're cisgender. If you're gender nonconforming, then we are also going to put this scrutiny on you. It's not just limiting trans people who are medically transitioning. It is also limiting anyone who is transgressing whatsoever. So as usual, Florida just being absolutely ridiculous. And this is not even the only instance of, you know, gender nonconformity being policed in this way. We will continue talking about it in future segments, but I think that I'm going to go ahead and wrap that right there because I don't know what else you can say. It's terrifying to not be allowed to use the bathroom, to think, you know, if I, you know, my ID says male, if I go into a female restroom because that's legally what I'm supposed to do, if there's scrutiny and someone sees male on my license, they're probably going to assume that I'm trans feminine, I'm a trans woman, and then I will be treated accordingly. And so, like, in order for me to be safe, realistically, I'm going to have to go into men's bathrooms, which is against the law, because that's what is the safest thing for me to do. I mean, it's probably going to continue to change on a given day for me. I'm going to be like, well, today I decided I wanted to wear a dress, so I will use the female restroom today. And in the future, I might wear a binder and compress my chest and dress like a boy, and those days I will use the male restroom, assuming that there isn't a non-binary, like, disabled, accessible restroom available. Like, it's terrifying, it sucks, and it's horrendous. Yeah, people act like this is an unintended consequence or even a price they are willing to pay to oppress trans people, but this is part of the point, enforcing a strict bioessentialist binary. Yeah, to the degree that you are not even allowed to dress according to the opposite gender. Yeah, we covered that one, Monica. Yeah, the pronoun emails. I saw that. This is actually a really great segue into our next topic. Let's see. I have our next topic teed up and already, and it's actually going to be a really great flow for our stream. There was a... Okay, we'll get started on this in a second. I'm going to drink some water, and then we're going to flow into the next segment, okay? My dad to this day thinks it won't happen, but the goal of conservatives is to get women out of pants. True. Oh my god, True loves aliens. I'll go into the wrong bathroom before I go into a men's prison in Florida for 1 year without any health care. Holy fuck. Yeah, just don't go to Florida, y'all. Just do not. I saw that, like, there was some teenager who was wearing a suit to prom and they wouldn't let her in. And it was just a cis girl wearing a suit and they wouldn't let her in because her attire was not appropriate, I guess. Anywho, we've been talking about the bathroom bills more and more recently because those bathroom bills are cracking down ultimately on people's gender expression. We watched a video recently about how a woman, a cisgender lesbian back in like 2015 or so, was ejected from the bathroom by a male policeman because she had someone thinking that she was a man and she refused to produce ID. So these issues are going to be affecting gender nonconforming people because you want to not have harassment in the bathroom. So you're going to start changing the way you dress or maybe not even going to the bathroom in public. And so, yeah, what I wanted to discuss was this other issue going on with a teenager who is about to graduate high school. So this is a transgender teenager, a trans girl, young woman who is about to graduate high school in Harrison County. And a judge ruled, like, there was a question as to whether she was going to be allowed to attend her graduation if she wore female clothing. Like, you know, you wear the graduation shroud. You wear the little ceremonial cloak and the little hat with the funny little tassels and oh my god, excuse me. And then you have like the clothes that you wear underneath that. And it is understood that you should wear formal clothing. And this school had an issue with a trans girl wearing feminine clothing, wearing a dress or wearing a skirt underneath there, to the degree that so the school canceled her ability to graduate, basically, unless she would wear male clothing. And then her family, I think, took it to the courts, sued potentially, and the ACLU took up the case and helped, and a judge ruled that the school is empowered to prevent the girl from attending her high school graduation unless she wears boys' clothes, from the socks to the dress shoes to the pants and a button-down shirt and tie. This is in Mississippi. So the socks, like, can we just talk about what are male socks? Like, hold on, like male socks. What is that? Do you have to have socks that are, hold on. Oh my God, not Amazon, please. So are your male socks are required to have like bacon on them? These are the only manly socks. Is if you have bacon and eggs on your socks. Cholesterol. Like, what even is the distinction between male socks and female socks? This is just for fun. I don't really know where that came from, but that's neat. Anyway, what are the most masculine socks you can imagine? See, these, personal opinion, these socks, too female. These socks are way too female. They're going up too high on your leg. That's very female-brained of you, Mr. Babu. Two trucks having sex on your socks. Yeah, you need to have socks with, like, beer on them, but it can't be Bud Light, because that's fucking gay. No socks. Real men walk barefoot across hot coals to get to school. Uphill both ways. Absolutely. Yeah, they have to be Argyle. And then, of course, we know what female socks look like. Like, any amount of color on your socks makes them female. Any fuzziness on your socks makes them female. Any flowers, any stripes like this. Any stripes like this makes your socks female. Assigned female socks at birth. Argyle is for schools, girl uniforms. Or, sorry. Argyle is for girls' school uniforms. It's too fun for men. That's true. Men's socks need gun holsters. Yeah, you have to wear leather socks. That's the manliest socks you can wear, is leather socks. Get balls you hang from the back of your socks like they do on trucks. Oh no. Oh no. I'm in 3D printing groups, and you can 3D print a little thing of truck nuts that attach to the back of your Crocs. Like the back of your sandals. Like, oh man. Assigned sock at birth. So we have fun, and it's possible that this is going to keep going through the courts, and it's possible that it will appeal up. It's too late for her to go to her graduation, you know? I think her graduation, I was reading this elsewhere, I believe her graduation is at the end of the month, and she is not going to be able to go, you know? Yeah, Aaron points out, don't think these decisions are limited to trans people. They're also enforced against cis people. It's all about enforcing a rigid gender binary and a return to 3 articles of clothing policies. Remember recently right-wing figures mused about banning women in pants. It's very much, they're going for an attempt to keep people like segregated based on what they look like and based on what clothing they wear, and like you are not allowed to transgress even in the minor things like wearing pants versus, and like, you know, wearing nail polish and things like that. The idea that you're not allowed, that you like, I want you to understand, you know, we have had rulings in this country regarding what you're allowed to wear. What you're allowed to wear is supposed to be protected as a First Amendment right. Like like your First Amendment, it's considered speech. And we had this conversation, and I believe it even went all the way up to the Supreme Court, that there were some teenagers in high school back during the Vietnam War who would wear like armbands that had that had like a peace sign on them and various anti-war kind of clothing. And the government ruled that that is protected speech. You know, if it is okay for you to limit children, you know, you're not allowed to have a shirt with like an assault rifle on it. At least when I was in school. Oh, she's coming back. Come on. Hold on. Sorry. We're still here. I'm just trying to fix this. We're still here. Okay. Back when I was at school, at least, you were not allowed to have a shirt with like a gun on it. You know, there were some things that are considered, you know, in the schooling environment, there are limits to what free speech is permitted in those situations. But political statements like having a peace sign on there, like that's supposed to be protected speech, basically. So I guess the question comes down to, you know, is wearing clothing that's not associated with the gender you were assigned at birth, is that protected speech, or is that like obscenity that's reasonable to limit? You know, young boys are not allowed to wear shirts with hentai scenes on them to school. That's limited because it's not appropriate for the environment. So like that comes down to the question of, can the government, like the school, the public school, which is one of the functions of the US government or the state government in that locality, can they infringe on your right to wear whatever clothes you want to wear within those limits of obscenity and not having guns and like other violent messages and like gang related activity on your clothing? Yeah, kids being anti-war, what happened to good old-fashioned American values? There's also cases of this regarding men being allowed to be shirtless but not women. There was an actual court case where a woman who went topless to protest anti-topless laws, her toplessness was ruled to be permitted because of free speech. Yeah, and a lot of the times in places where there's anti-nudity laws, they include some specific intent of if you're doing the nudity with intentions of being lascivious. If you're not, then it's generally fine. Like, if you want to sunbathe in your yard naked, I think that that is protected so long as you're not doing something lascivious. Although your neighbors still might be jerks about it. Public nudity is legal in Seattle, yeah. I just don't get how they can segregate something as basic as formal wear and pants. It's insane. I mean, yeah, because the inverse is understood to be, like, if you are going to prevent a trans girl from wearing a skirt or a dress to this event, then that kind of necessitates limiting all of the cisgender girls to wearing dresses. Like, none of the cisgender girls are allowed to wear pants. And that is the natural conclusion of where this goes. There's no official nude beaches here, but there's like a designated one, right? Oh, thank you. Thank you for this. And just to show you that we are not making things up, we are not exaggerating when we say that they are coming after female clothing in general. Missouri House Republicans' decision on Wednesday to tighten the dress code for women legislators has sparked criticism and outrage on social media. I think this is from January this year. The new measure prohibiting women legislators from having bare arms while in the chamber and initially calling for blazers to be mandatory was spurred by Missouri's Republican Representative Ann Kelly. The proposed changes reportedly originated in last year's session when several lawmakers complained that some of their female colleagues weren't dressed at the required standard. The update was immediately bashed by Missouri House Democrats, questioning whether these changes to the dress code are that high on the list of priorities. Despite the criticism, the measure was eventually passed with some changes, allowing women legislators to wear cardigans as well as jackets in the chamber, but still preventing them from showing their bare arms to, quote, maintain a formal and professional atmosphere. Just like your arms, literally your arms are too sexy. like I'm too sexy for my shirt, you can't even see like my forearms. There are some business like suits that are cut to specifically have the sleeve end here so that you can still have your like mobility on your arms and like the sleeve isn't getting all weird on your wrist. Yeah, the Second Amendment says I have a right to bear arms. What? Oh my God. Yeah, I know, but I gotta put these things away. Too hot to handle. Gotta put these things away. Oh my God. And that's not the only one too. We have another one. Christians targeting women who wear pants. The religious right has celebrated the overturn of Roe v. Wade, but their obsession with controlling women's bodies knows no limit. A far-right preacher known for his vile rants about the LGBTQ community is calling for men to burn their wives' pants because he says it's just a form of cross-dressing. Brother Duncan Urbanek spread the love of God by using anti-gay slurs and encouraging men to destroy their spouses' possessions. That's abuse. That's just straight-up abuse, right? Urbanek is a member of the Steadfast Baptist Church, one of the most vicious anti-LGBTQ hate groups of the nation. Church leaders have called for the execution of gay men, and publicly celebrated tragedies that killed members of the LGBTQ community. Yeah. Well, just if you're a cross-dresser, you're an abomination too. Obviously, it's not as bad as being an F slur, but God is still very upset with your sin. If you're a woman and you own any pants, throw them away. Light them on fire. If you're a man and your wife has pants, throw them away. If she yells at you, so be it. Throw them away. That's a good fight to be in. So, like, yeah, I just want to be clear. Thank you so much for posting those links, Violet, that this is not hypothetical. When we say that the religious right in this country is moving to the extremes of not just limiting abortion access, not just attacking trans people, but literally making it so that if you're a cisgender woman specifically, I mean, if you're a man too, they want to limit your ability. They don't want you to dress in drag. They don't want you to cross dress. But something that feels as totally normalized to us as women wearing pants. Like, pants are pretty gender neutral. Different types of pants are cut for different kinds of bodies. And you could say like, yeah, this type of jeans I think are generally considered like women's pants, and these kind are generally considered men's pants. But it's like, fine. If you're like a working woman who has a trade job and you want to wear like the Dickies rugged pants for men, like, cool, yeah, do that. Except that these people believe that you shouldn't be able to do that. They think women need to be in skirts, like, which means that you can be easy access to the pussy at any time, frankly, is one of the things that I think is the main difference with like why women are required to wear dresses. Like, you have to be sexually available at all times, and that's kind of part of it. Dresses are gender neutral too. Men and women wore robes and dresses for almost all of human history. Like 100 years ago, it was normal for all babies to be put in little dresses to make it easier to change them, right? This is what fascism is, y'all. This is what it means. It means you don't have personal rights anymore. People always rag on the idea of socialism, like, oh, I'm not allowed to own my own toothbrush. But since when has a socialist government tried to, like, dictate what you're allowed to wear? That's not a good system. It's way easier to get to my junk in pants than it would be in an ankle-length skirt like conservatives want. Personally, I think that there's something kind of sexy about having to hike up all the fabric. Like, I just personally think that that's kind of hot, I guess. Wait, what? They told me the fascism would be fun. 1 star. 1 star. They told me the fascism was going to be fun. Dress sex is hot. Forced dress wearing is very not. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And just for funsies, let's hear this guy actually say it so that you don't have to take my word for it. Just for funsies.
Abomination, too. Now, obviously, it's not as bad as being a faggot, but...
Oh.
No pictures of me wearing a dress.
Video started to load.
Because I'm never going to put one on. I don't own any, and I don't want to wear any. And women should have that same standard. I don't own any pants. I'm never...
The video's paused. Weird. It's like not loading, right?
Yeah. Now, what should we do about that?
Why is this so funky? Is it going to work better if I open it in Twitter? Oh my god, I don't want to go to Hemant Mehta's page.
If you're a woman who own any pants,
Okay.
throw them away. Like knowing that as Christians. If you're a woman and you own any pants, throw them away.
Just bad quality.
Light them on fire. If you're a man and your wife...
Come on, dude. Why is this being so weird today? Anyway, let's not roam on it too much. You know he said it. You know he said it. So this is the life that we're living now, is people trying to restrict your access to bathrooms and public spaces based on what you're wearing. People thinking that, like, you know, you need to be subservient in the home to a husband who you might not even have met yet. You know, your rights are under attack in a very real way. Even something as basic as what you wear, they want to have a government step in and tell you what you're allowed to do, what you're allowed to wear. Twitter video playback is so awful these days. Yeah, it's fucking garbage. It's literally genital horoscopes, genital astrology. I'm just gonna wear a full suit of plate armor so no one knows shit about me. Yeah, have fun. Have fun trying to arrest me. I have armor on. I'm like 100 pounds heavier with this metal on me. Pulling the pants down is the hot part, keeping the legs together so it's bondagey. Yeah, it can be. Anywho, mostly that's the end of the segment, I think, on that particular part. Ooh, we're dropping in viewers just a tiny little bit. That's okay, though. I'm just resting my voice for a minute, y'all, because I've been talking for like 2 solid hours. Stream days be like that. If only women knew how to wear pants correctly, this wouldn't be an issue. Vox. Yeah. High-waisted pants, low-waisted pants, skinny jeans, bell bottoms. So many options. 69 viewers, nice. And 101 likes. Thank you all so much for your likes and all your interaction today. Wear them pants inside out, I guess. There's no correct way to do it, apparently. Ban women's pants, keep the guns, though. America. That reminds me a little bit of one of the plot lines in BoJack Horseman where Diane decides to start carrying a gun because it makes her feel safer as a woman. And then it ends up going to the legislature, and the legislature is like, we are so against the idea of women owning guns that we're going to pass sensible gun legislation. It's like, and she's like, I can't believe that this country hates women more than it loves guns. And one of the other characters is like, really, Diane? Are you surprised by that? Guns are important because bullets need a home too. True. Think of the bullets and their needs. That's not even fiction. That's literally how gun regulation passed to prevent Black Panthers being armed. Yeah, this was specifically about like women feeling unsafe. And so I honestly could see them cracking down on it harder if it were a women-driven movement to become armed, because there are way more women than there are Black people in general. YouTube chat, are you being bad? Are you guys talking about BDSM over there? Naughty, naughty. Naughty ladies and gentle thems. Women wearing pants. Women wearing pants, 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 pants. I gotta add some notes really quick to my document so that I know what we talked about today. Yeah, YouTube chat being sussy today. Sussy wussy YouTube chat talking about BDSM. We got we're smuggy chat. Are we doing smuggy chat today? We smuggy chat happens sometimes. Sussy and Baka. Good grief, I gotta drink some water. Yeah, they're having fun over there. Okay, okay, I'm making notes about how we just did a segment about, clothing at graduation. Let me get my links together. I love having pretty extensive stream notes. Like, it's easy for me to figure out what we talked about and like, and get those links later. Sometimes people are like, hey, does anybody have any info about this thing? And I'm like, yeah, we talked about it on stream and I have all the links. So here's the articles from 5 months ago when this happened. What's up, dog with no collar? Should a female bussy be called a vussy or a wussy? I don't think females have bussies. Like, isn't that part of the thing? And I'm not saying trans men are females when I say that. Like, I'm on board with Josh. Sorry, Josh. What the fuck is wrong with me? I just crossed Vosh and Josh Scherer because I watch a lot of Mythical Kitchen. Those two things just mashed in my head. Vosh said that the only real bussy is trans boys' pussies. Like, that's real bussy. That's not fake bussy. I think he just said that offhand one time on a stream. And I was like, true. I love note-taking. Notes are so helpful for people with ADHD. So I don't love notes otherwise. This is like the only situation where I take notes. And it's like, it's not even taking notes in the way that you think of taking notes. This is just like, okay, I'm posting links for myself so that I know what we talked about. I think wussy works because women are cowards. Vox, you silly bean. It's real men pussy. Bussy. Exactly. The only real boy pussy is... I'm just not doing well in the algorithm if I keep on with the pussy talk. God. We're talking about cats, okay? Real men have cats. True. Anyway. Ooh, I have some coffee, too. It's only like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Jiminy Christmas. Jiminy Christmas. Well, we just did a little segment where we were responding to a pastor. Should we do another segment where we respond to the pastor? I think that I'm gonna, like, rest my voice for a minute. Is that different to a mangina? No, I don't think so. I think the bussy and the mangina are, like, the same thing. I was going to make coffee and gave up halfway. I did coffee a couple hours ago. I'm just still working my way through it. I need tea. I would love some taro tea boba. I love taro. Oh man, my partner got some mochi recently and shared some of it with me, and the taro mochi, oh my god, it was good. Wow. So yummy. And like sweet and like, oh man. The matcha one was like okay, but the fucking taro root one was, oh, so good. So I'm gonna, I really would like some taro tea boba. That would be really delicious. Even the chat censorship, censored pussy but not dicks. I know. It's shameful. It's kind of like how the word vagina is censored on television. Like, the first time I ever noticed that was when I was watching, oh my god, what the fuck is it called? Is it just called Shenanigans? Or no, it's called Waiting. The movie is called Waiting, ... and it has Ryan Reynolds in it. And the restaurant they work at is called Shenanigans. But he says, like, I played your vagina like a violin. And the word vagina was, like, edited out when I was watching it on Comedy Central. Very weird. Oh, God, mochi is so good. It's got the texture, like, oh, mochi. What's up, Diaphila? New transfem here. Longtime Luxander fan. First time in chat. Welcome in. We appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much. I have some taro root. IDK what to make with it. Yeah, I would make a dessert of some kind out of it because it's fucking so delicious. I'm having some tea with honey that my coworker gave me. Her son is a local beekeeper. This stuff is Gucci. I wish I liked honey. I don't know if it's just because honey in Kansas fucking sucks. I've heard that before. I've heard that honey in Kansas is just not very good. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, I wish it were yummier. Okay. I actually, wait. Did I end up finishing that? Hold on. I don't know if I'm like behind on all my editing work. I start to catch up and then some stupid fucking bullshit happens in my personal life and I completely lose productivity for like weeks at a time. It sucks. Oh gosh. Okay, I still have so much shit that I need to edit. Oh my god, I'm so behind. Christmas. Jiminy Christmas. Jeez Louise. Thank you, Diaphila. Diaphila? I cannot figure out how to pronounce it. Diaphila. Diaphila. There's so many options. The dick is blocked but not dicks. Listen, I don't control the censorship on the website, okay? I don't control the censorship. Anywho, resting my voice a little bit. Ready to move on to the next segment before too long. We've got several things here. I don't even know if I can add to this story at all. Houghton fires 2 employees who included pronouns in emails. Houghton College in New York fired 2 employees who included pronouns in their emails. The employees, Reagan Zelaya. I saw one of these people. I saw that Reagan Zelaya and Shua Wilmot both said they thought they were doing a good thing by including it in their emails. They wanted to be supportive of trans people, and they have unusual first names, so many people wouldn't know how to address them. Houghton is affiliated with the Wesleyan Church, which teaches that, quote, gender confusion and dysphoria are ultimately the biological, psychological, social, and spiritual consequences of the human race's fallen condition. It views, quote, adult gender nonconformity as a violation of the sanctity of human life. Holy shit. It's transgender, but I used Greek instead of Latin roots because I'm way too autistic. Okay, fair enough. Diaphila. Yeah, so this is just really dumb. Like, imagine having a name like fucking Reagan and Shua, which are, like, not ones that have, like, it's not, Reagan, not clear at all whether that's a boy name or a girl name. So imagine just trying to make your fucking email make sense and people to know, like, this is, like, I think that Reagan is a cisgender woman. So she's just trying to be like, I am a cisgender woman and I want people to know that I'm a woman. Like, I am literally just a woman and I want people to know that. And it's like, nope, we're gonna delete you. And the thing about this is that Reagan didn't just have a job at this college. She also lived on campus. So she was terminated from her job and she needed to find, she needed to find a new place to live. I feel like we maybe talked about this on stream previously, but I didn't end up posting a segment to the channel about it. Phyla is a plural form of phylum, which I felt was close to the Latin gender. Cool. And then diaphyla? Like, which way are you going with this? Because, like, dia or dia is, like, 2, isn't it? Oh my god, wow, really? My air conditioner finally kicked on, which means that it's fucking almost 80 degrees in here. Transphobia hurts cis people too, even though they aren't the intended target, but no one wants to talk about that. Lamau. True. Oh my god. Multiple gender. Or does dia, or do you mean dia to invoke like God? Like, I can't remember if that's Latin or Greek. Boo! Boo. Assigned God at birth. You get a little bit of linguistics nerdiness today. Just a little teeny tiny bit. She needed a headmaster to save her from being kicked off campus. Yeah, were they gonna just eject her immediately? They were like, we're gonna let you live. They decided eventually, they were like, we're gonna let you live here until, like, we're gonna let you live here for now until the end of the semester or whatever, but you need to find another place to live soon. And, like, for the time being, you're only permitted to leave your apartment to, like, collect your mail and to get food at the quad or whatever. Dia is a Greek prefix for through, across. Oh, it's basically trans, but Greek version. Oh, okay, that's cool. Diaphyla. That's fucking rad. I like that a lot. I also named myself by typing words into Google Translate and finding the Latin and Greek roots for them. I do think I crossed wires. I think that Ander is Greek, but Fluxa is where I pulled Lux out of, and Fluxa is Latin, I believe. So, keeping with that tradition of mismashing Latin and Greek roots. You're a purist who went full Greek, and I appreciate that. I might need to take a little bit of a restroom break, momentarily. Not a big restroom break, but a little tiny one, and a fill my water break. But we still have more stuff to talk about. We still have a couple, maybe at least one more political thing to discuss today. One more little political segment. Soon. Soon. Not trans people naming themselves the way JKR named things in Harry Potter. Listen, you just type things into baby name websites and you type things into Google Translate. Listen, I have the violent autism just as much as anybody else. But, there's different flavors of autism. I didn't know at the time that there was an existing social faux pas around, I did not know at the time that there was an existing social faux pas around mismatching Latin and Greek roots. I just figured that was, I just didn't know, because I changed my name fucking 13 years ago. Almost 14 years ago. Wait, no, that's not right. I changed my name almost 11 years ago. So yeah, at the time, we did not know about the Latin and Greek root mixing. Lol. My birth name just originated from the Archangel Michael, and I swear to God, there are too many dudes named Michael in the world. There are too many dudes named Michael. And there's too many Justins. And there's too many Joshes. Like, there's starting to be too many Ethans. My autism is switching my special interests bi-monthly and hyperfixating on them. Right. Anyway, I'm just gonna have, like, a brief restroom break, and I'll be back momentarily. So, you know, stick around. We still have more stuff to talk about. We still have more hanging out to do. If you're not gonna stick around, I completely understand. Hit like before you go, though. Hit like if you're enjoying hanging out with us. That always helps the channel immediately. And I appreciate it very much. So just hit like really quick. Get yourself a drink while I'm going to refill my water and go to the restroom. And we will get back to it very shortly. Hell yeah. All right, babes, I told you I wouldn't be gone for very long. Oh, we did miss like 10 people out, but that's all right. I'm back. Are people less likely to leave if you have a bathroom song? Whatever. I'm not trying to steal Demon Mama's thing anymore. I used to think like, a bathroom song is a really good idea, and now I'm like, I don't know. It kind of feels like that's a unique thing that she just should have. Or I think it could be really funny to like take the Demon Mama bathroom song and just like do a really horrendous voiceover. Like I would pay Gayfesh for it, obviously, but be like, I just want to do a horrendous voiceover so that it's the normal song the way you would normally hear it, and then it's like, instead of "Hey chat, Demon Mama has to go to the bathroom," it'll just be like, "Hey chat, Luxander has to go to the bathroom." Like, I just think that would be very funny. But no, we're not going to actually do that. Lux the NB Dragon went to take the pee. I did that for Marcy once in that exact style. That's fucking very funny. Commission a dragon loading screen. Yeah. Commissions are a thing that I would like to do. There's definitely still art on the website that needs to be produced. I just, like, as soon as I get a little bit of money, I'm like, ooh, I don't know what to do with this. Like, I need to hold on to it. So, I'm going to start, like, paying off my credit card debt. Because, yeah, I very well may be that I'm going to end up owing more on my taxes than I was originally planning. Like, it's just complicated right now. So, just frankly, I would be happy to do some free programming work if you need help with your website. There is a developer on the website. Her name is White Nervosa, and the thing is that she just uses the same website code fundamentally for everybody, and I know nothing about it, and I don't know if she's accepting collaborators right now. But someone is already very much in charge of that stuff. That was back when she was Celine's sparkle emoji, which was way longer, and I didn't bother to make sure it fit within the meter. Oh yeah, that's what makes it even funnier. Like, Celine's sparkle emoji, like, in the amount of time that it normally would take you to say Demon Mama, like, that's just absolute gorgeous. What's up, Morgan? Hello. We still have like 70 people in here. This is lovely. 2 hours into our stream, 2.5 hours or so into our stream. We've been knocking segments out, 1, 2, 3, just knocking them out. And yeah, we've got more stuff to talk about, potentially. Yes, Violet, thank you for posting that link. Join the Discord if y'all are not members of the Discord already. It's not crazy busy in there. We've got plenty of different channels for you to chat in. We recently opened up a gaming channel specifically, so if you want to talk about gaming specifically, that's a good place to be for it. And, you know, if you want to get consistent notifications, because you can always subscribe and hit the bell. Obviously, you know that part. Every fucking YouTuber on earth tells you to subscribe and hit the bell. And to make sure you click all notifications instead of personalized if you want to make sure to actually get all of the notifications. But YouTube is trash. And sometimes that you specifically sign up and you say, hey, give me all notifications for this channel. And sometimes it still fucking won't. You might want to make sure that you didn't tell YouTube in general at some point that it's not allowed to send you notifications, because that's part of the problem. But if YouTube is being stupid on that, because it does, you can join the Discord and get ping notifications in your Discord and have a bunch of cool people to hang out with and talk to, which is great. I'm vibing here with a rewatch of Atla in the background and crocheting. Oh my god, that sounds amazing uncomfortable. Yeah. I haven't been crocheting much lately because I've been playing a lot of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom lately. And I also haven't rewatched Avatar The Last Airbender in a while because I am instead rewatching BoJack Horseman multiple times right now. So that's kind of where I'm at mentally, is rewatching BoJack Horseman twice in a row. I just finished it and I was like, what am I going to watch now? I guess I'm going to start BoJack Horseman over from the beginning again. It do be like that sometimes. Taking a look at my notes for today. We got so many links. Thank you so much, Thea Jane, for the $10 dono. I really massively appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hell yes. This is a viewer-supported show. We appreciate the donations. We appreciate the Patreons, as well as the likes and the comments and the subscribes and the shareses, if I'm being honest. Here's what I want, and I've been saying it for a few streams now. We're getting to a point now where sometimes if we have a nice political stream like this, we end up with 70, 80 people. And in our regular chill streams, there's usually like 40 to 50 people. Maybe a little bit less than that, depending on how chill the stream is. Like sometimes people really don't want to hang out. But what I would like for the show is for this to get to a point, maybe by the end of the year, where we, on a good, solid stream day, we can expect to have more than 100 people in here. You know, that's what I want. So if you know anybody who might like the content, also consider sharing this to people. Tell your friends about it. I'm doing my best to get my name out there more. I'm like doing collabs and things like this when people get in touch with me to do them, and I enjoy doing that shit. So I just defeated the Wind Temple monster. Yeah, that's the first one that I did. I think I'm gonna do the one in Lanayru next. Not to get off on a whole gaming tangent in the middle of this political stream, because that usually loses people, but yeah, I've been enjoying playing it quite a bit. My voice is still so fucking thrashed right now. Jesus Christ. I guess we might only have like one serious political segment left. We can make it a good one, though. Let's make it a good one. Hell yeah. Oh, we got a new Patreon member today. That's fucking awesome. NB Ghosty, thank you so much for the $5 dono as well. Not much, but I hope it helps with taxes. Listen, when you owe like almost $2,000 in taxes, like, yeah, literally every little bit helps. I massively appreciate it. Thank you so much. I know not everybody can afford it, so not a big deal. Yeah, no, we're talking about Legend of Zelda. Plus, Lux sometimes says wonderfully nice things about you when you share its videos. Yeah, we haven't done that in a while, but I did used to have a thing where it's like, if you shared the video on social media, or if you sent it in a message to someone, then if you posted proof, a screenshot in the Discord server, I would issue compliments. I don't know if we need to bring that back to try to incentivize more compliments, like for homework. Yeah, it was called homework. Like, okay, maybe it would be easier to do if I was like, okay, here's a specific video. Like, if I just today uploaded something and went, hey, this video got uploaded today, and I really want you to share this one. So if you share this on your social pages and then post a screenshot, then you'll get some kind of reward. And like, extravagant compliments were the thing that I came up with before. So I don't know. I don't know if that sounds fun or interesting to anybody, but I do want to grow the channel this year. Like, I love my job. It is so fun breaking all this down for you guys and doing our little gaming streams and our little silly segments and talking about genitalia and stuff. Like, it's so fun. And I hope that we can have this be like something that continues to grow for years and get more and more people. I just realized Abigail is having her post-mortem for the most recent Philosophy 2 video, but I'm gonna stay here. Aw, so sweet. Did you know how, according to Q, apparently his followers have to smack each other in the back of the head to get the demons out of their heads? Is that real? Is Q just a troll who's been a troll this whole time? Are we talking about QAnon? He's usually working when you're live, but I share your YouTube vids with my cis friend on Discord. He said it's made him a better ally. That's awesome. Yeah, it's not just about sharing the streams. It's also about sharing the content on the channel, because both of those things are helpful, you know? That's the Discord link, dog with no collar. At least it should be a functional Discord link. Yeah, I'm so glad that y'all are able to, you know, send the content around to people and have them like internalize that. That's what the point was originally of this. I mean, still a lot of the point is that I want to reach a cisgender audience, and I don't usually. So that's one of the cool things about going on the Transatlantic Call-In show like I did last week, was that, you know, she was pointing out, Arden pointed out, that a lot of their viewers on that show are not necessarily trans people. So I think that's a really great way to break the message out and start talking about like the imminent fascism and stuff, and like having that non-binary angle in particular. If we can figure out what was wrong with the audio, I really would love to do Transatlantic Call-In Show more often. It was such a good time. If you missed it, I really highly recommend going into watching it. Even though my voice sounds all fucked up and stupid for like 3 hours, but it was such a good time. Very worthy conversations. We had 2 solid transphobic arguments, like 2 different callers who made transphobic arguments. And I feel like I did really well. But I feel like it would have come across better if my audio didn't sound stupid. So anyway, that's a whole thing. That's a whole fucking thing. Did you get angry? Oh, for sure. At one point I was like, my face is so red. I could see it on the screen. I was like, oh my God, I'm so fucking spicy right now. Because it was a guy who was like making Jordan Peterson arguments and was just very fucking smug about it. And he ended up messaging me later. Like that guy messaged me later. Let me see. Where is he? He asked me, Gabriel asked me if I have any, he was like, you mentioned you have historical examples of trans folks. Could you let me know where I might find them? And I sent him the Wikipedia link to Dr. James Barry, the Wikipedia link to Dora Richter, the Wikipedia link to the Institute for Sexual Science in Germany, and the Wikipedia page for transgender history broadly. And then he said, thanks. And then later on he has said, would you be willing to do a more formal debate on this subject? And I was like, no. I said, I'm not really interested in debating the topic of whether I deserve basic respect and consideration. For you, this may be a fun mental exercise, but for me, it's allowing my basic humanity to be the subject of debate, and I'm deeply uninterested in validating your opposition to my basic humanity by acting like it has any merit. And he said, well, it was good talking to you at any rate. All the best. Like, he got banned off of the Transatlantic Call-In Show because he dropped the R slur right at the end of the call. Like, he said, you guys are being ridiculous. You're being retarded. And then, Arden just like banned him permanently from the chat. So that was fun. It was a spicy convo. Very excellent. Is he trying to date you? I don't know, man. I fucking hope not. I'm so done with relationships if I am ever single in my life. Like, oh my God. He just didn't like that he didn't have the upper hand in Takis. Fascists always prefer to debate on their turf. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not gonna legitimize your opposition to basic respect and consideration toward me. Formal debate over a fancy dinner, Lamau. True. Buy me some lobster, Gabriel, and then we'll talk. I've been really craving crab lately. I really I don't know what the deal is, but I want to eat some crabs. Like, it's so expensive to get crab meat. Or not like, you know, if you were going to actually get like a crab claw and then boil it, or whatever it is, however it is you do. I think you boil it and then crack it open and eat it and everything. Like, it's expensive to do that, but I have been craving it so much. It's like, do I actually crave crab, or is what I'm craving butter? Do you ever have this happen to you? I don't know if it's just me. I'm like, I really want to eat crab right now, but I don't know if I actually want to eat crab or if I just want to eat something slathered in just like literally just melted butter. Just, you know? A craving of butter sauce. Exactly. Precisely. Anyway. Sometimes I'll crave Subway and realize I just wanted bread. Crustacean cravings. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't been buying a lot of food this month, so maybe I'll use my food stamps this month to get some like crab, since I literally haven't been to the grocery store in like 2 weeks. Subway does not use bread. Yeah, like legally in other countries, they're not allowed to call what Subway has bread because it has too much sugar in it. You can always make boiled artichokes and dip them leaves in lemon butter. Oh, I've never tried that before. Would that be good? Think about the pizza garlic sauce from Domino's. Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's like a garlic butter sauce. Wait, no. the garlic butter sauce that they use to put on your crust is not the same as the little garlic sauce that comes in the cup. How do you feel about breadsticks? They make me sick if I eat too much. I would eat the shit out of some breadsticks, but I also really would want protein. Like, they would need to be cheesy breadsticks or it would just not be good. Okay, sorry, oh man, I'm getting hungry. Oh no, we gotta do this last political section, this last segment for the channel before I get hungry and have to get out of here. Cause I am getting hungry. I'm hungry. Y'all know that one episode of Doctor Who? It's like from the first season. No, sorry, no. It's from the second season of Doctor Who, where you've got David Tennant with Rose Tyler, and they go to like the Queen's coronation, and there's that TV lady. There's a TV lady, and she's like, hungry. And sometimes I just feel like that. Sometimes internally, I'm just like, hungry. Yeah, we have fun here. Just join the Discord. Yes, we want the Discord to be slightly more active than it is. So feel free to introduce yourselves in the introduction channel, and then make sure you read and understand the rules. There aren't very many of them, so make sure you understand them, and go forth and don't post shit that I don't want to see in the fluffy channels. Game Grumps, I'm gonna fucking pre. That's a totally different thing. That's a different thing. I'm gonna fucking pre, dude, is a whole other... That's like an Obama... That's Obama impression time. Oh, God. Ooh. Oh, God, what am I even gonna say about this? Sometimes I gotta think about how I'm gonna open a segment a little bit. Something that we talk about occasionally on this channel, in the midst of everything else going on, is religious extremism. You might not know this, but I actually started my activism in the atheist skeptic space with like a little bit of a side project of, yes, I care about LGBTQ rights, but where I really started was at that, you know, sort of anti-religion, you know, very much like that new atheist movement back like 10 years ago. That's where I came from, which is why you will sometimes find me really going in hard on, you know, let's read this study and like, let's read this law and actually see what people are saying. Let's make sure we understand the fundamental issues. It kind of drives the core of my channel, honestly. All of the times that I make sure that we have multiple sources on something, all the times that, you know, I've done all the research for the segments, that is fundamentally coming from a place where I care a lot about, you know, following the facts, and that sort of like has this atheism tie-in to it. So it is relevant to today's day and age where we have all of this virulent anti-trans rhetoric, that to like be aware of the fact that religiously based homophobia and transphobia is still alive and well. And it's still very much a presence. And we talked in a previous segment about how religious people are motivated to take women's pants away to make sure that they can only wear skirts and dresses because that's cross-dressing. There is still a very present, influential Christian fundamentalist movement in the United States of America. And it's like those people are some of the folks who have a lot of money, who are giving it to the politicians, who are getting their influence into the government, literally Christian Sharia law. And it's only getting worse. Like the rhetoric, I have a couple of videos on the channel already about how they will call for violence against gay people, or they say, you know, it would be a good thing if all of them died. And that has continued on. We have the most recent example that's come across my timeline just from this past week. A Christian pastor said that the parents of trans kids should be, quote, shot in the back of the head and their bodies, quote, strung up on a bridge. I have no idea if this is going to be acceptable on YouTube. Please understand, any people who are vetting this YouTube video, please understand that I am against this content and we are covering it for the purposes of informing people of where the rhetoric is. You know, that this is what people are saying, and it's dangerous and it's not okay. And if we have this information throttled by being deprioritized in the algorithm, that is bad for our country and for humanity as a whole. So please be cool. Anyway, let's get into watching this 1.5 minute long video from the Friendly Atheist posted. Let me drink some water first, actually. Okay. Let me make sure volumes are good before we get jumping in here.
To any parents that would have their child...
Okay, let's take it down just a teeny weeny bit. Just a teeny weeny bit. And that should be fine. Alright, I don't remember this guy's name, but let's watch this video real quick.
To any parents that would have their child have a transgender surgery done on them, any parent that would do that, they just need to be shot in the back of the head. They need to be...
Like, literally, no due process, no court system, like, not advocating for harsh prison sentences, execution by gun is what they're going with. That's where they're coming at this with is, if you get a transgender surgery on your kid, that's you should be shot in the back of the head, is what they're saying. Keeping in mind that this is the evidence-based care, that surgery is only done on minors in extreme situations where they can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the risk of waiting for them to get surgery later is worse than the risk of them getting the surgery now and potentially having health issues or regret. You know, it's very well vetted, and these doctors are very good at their jobs, but these folks are out here saying, if you're a parent who gets this kind of procedure done for your kid, a life-saving procedure, then you should die. And it also, again, every single time we have this conversation, we have to acknowledge that these people support forcibly changing the genitals of intersex babies. They support cutting off clitorises if they're too big. That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. They support forcibly giving intersex children vaginoplasties because they're not deep enough for their future husband. They support those things every single time without fail.
Convicted in trial and immediately shot.
Oh yeah, he said convicted in trial and immediately shot in the back of the head. So he did suggest that there should be a trial.
Back of the head, okay? And then we can string them up above a bridge. And so that the public can see the consequences of that kind of wickedness. And so...
You know, it's crazy to me also that these people think that they need to impose mortal consequences on people. It's like, if you've sinned, God should be taking care of that, right? Isn't that the whole fucking point? Is that, like, you have the freedom, the free will to do whatever you're gonna do on earth, and then God will judge you? Yeah, shoot them in the back of the head because you're too cowardly to see their face. Shoot them in the back of the head. Isn't it? That's like the cherry on top of this, is like you can't even face them down. What a coward, shooting a man when his back is turned. Yeah, insane. Let's hang these folks from a bridge because they are wicked. You know, I actually respect the platform that I'm on to an extent, enough to like pull back. And, you know, I'm not going to say necessarily that people like this should be strung up on a bridge so that it's clear that we as a society are no longer accepting psycho-religious extremists being in places of influence within our communities. I generally don't advocate for that kind of thing. But, like, if that's where the rhetoric is, I really don't think people understand that, like, if you go low, I'll go lower. Or what is Shark? I saw that Shark just posted a picture that was like, I believe in they go low, we go high, but he posted a picture of like a fighter jet that was basically like implying that going higher is like, I'm just gonna drop a tactical nuke on you, basically. Oh yeah, and that's another thing as well. Yeah, kids seeing bodies hung from a bridge would totally not be psychologically damaging. Like a child who's getting trans affirming care, having their parent shot in the back of the head, executed for providing them with the care that they know that they need. Like, yeah, that's definitely not going to scar any kids. Creating orphans is definitely not like a bad thing for society at all. Not that being an orphan means that you're unworthy or anything, but that generally we prefer for you to like be in a stable home environment. Yeah, I don't know.
There should be no excuse to not put these people to death. No excuse whatsoever. And go ahead and turn to Ephesians chapter number 4. And let me tell you, there are very, very few people out there in the world today that are actually fighting the spiritual fight. I want you to go ahead and find me another preacher in Spokane that preached the message where they said that these child molesters, that these child butchers, that these all the LGBTQ people that...
Yeah, so we're lumping in child molesters with people who are getting affirming care for their children, and then we're throwing in the word faggot and like LGBT. So like, again, like don't forget, if you're gay and you're not trans, don't forget they're coming for you too. They're saying you're a pedophile. They're saying you can't be trusted around children. They're saying you should be put to death. You are the same, like as someone who literally fucks children. People like this are why I'm a Satanist. True. Based Satanists in the chat. Yeah, there's not much left in this video. Let's see what else he has to say. What other trouble can he get himself into in the last 15 seconds of this?
That desire strange flesh, that they should all be put to death in a public execution by the government. Find me...
Okay, let's just take that back one more time. I want to make it clear for you gays in the chat and for you gays watching this in the future.
LGBTQ people that desire strange flesh, that they should all be put to death in a public execution by the government. Find me the preacher that says that. I want to see him.
He's saying, I'm brave. I'm the only one saying the true message. There's no other real Christians except for me. This guy is mask off, but it's important to know that most Republicans either think this and don't say it or are okay with it. Yeah, it's convenient to have this guy to point to because we can say, hey, they're outright saying that they want to kill us and that they want us to be put to death, like put to death and like shot in the back of the head. They're saying it outright now. We know that other Republicans believe this because their policy decisions are in line with this attitude. They did not treat the AIDS crisis at all until it started affecting heterosexual people because they wanted us to die. We just watched a video last week about how the guy was saying that, you know, our enemies in ISIS hate the gays more than we do, just fully admitting that they do hate gay people. They want to bring back lynching and think no one will do anything about it. We have to prove that that isn't the case. Yeah, like what if one of these psycho-Christian fundamentalists actually goes out there and tries to kill gay people, like what are we gonna do? Well, I don't know. Like, look at the aftermath of the Club Q shooting. Have we really done much of anything to protect gay lives and protect trans lives since then? There was a there have been 2 mass shootings at gay clubs specifically. Like, there is terrorist activity happening at gay clubs where they're shooting us and threatening to kill us and like causing damage to our community. And this is just like the new normal in America. You can't even go to school or to the grocery store without worrying about being attacked and shot to death. But it's like, it's different if you go to a gay club because you know that that's targeted. You know that you are a specific target. The grocery store in general is not a specific target. Yeah, true. They want to, yeah, let's get to a point where you can also be executed for eating pork or fish, executed for wearing clothing with 2 different kinds of fabric, working on the Sabbath is a death sentence. I'm in the UK, but I still worry going to gay places. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's safe even in the UK. If you think they might mean you, they probably do mean you. You're not safe. If you're a gay person who feels like, oh, you know, I've been married for years and my partner and I have a nice house with a white picket fence and 2.5 children, so we're going to be safe, you're not. If you think, oh, I'm a totally integrated trans person, I've had bottom surgery, you know, there's no way anybody could know. Well, guess what? The record of your gender change, all the legal stuff is still in state records. So congrats, you're on the list. People ask, what are we going to do if? And it's already happening. If you have ever wondered what you would have done if you lived in 1930s Germany, it's whatever you're doing right now. Like, ignoring a fucking global pandemic, it seems to be what everybody is doing right now. And like, also ignoring the active genocide against our community. Someone just tweeted today, and I retweeted it. She said, it's surreal to me to be in a literal state of emergency as a community and have it not be interesting or important enough to even make the news. Like, that people just don't even know about this. That I have to convince people of how dangerous it is because it's just not being talked about in the news. I'm trans, pan, and disabled, autistic. I'm on all the lists. Right. This is the other thing about COVID. I know I'm not going to try to get on a whole tangent about COVID really quick, but I am going to Fruitcake Unicorn, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. I think you can grow like crazy this year. Shout out to the Kansas DSA chapters for helping me grow my local progressive power too. I've been thinking about joining the Kansas DSA. I didn't realize that it like costs money. So I should do that and start getting active locally. Like, I really hate being around people, and I really don't like that nobody else takes COVID seriously. But like, that's the other thing about COVID that's so dangerous, is that I am already disabled, and like, being disabled, like, I am even more of an undesirable than most trans people who aren't, like, any trans person who's not disabled. That's the additional scary thing about fascism, is that being trans, being disabled, being black, like, all of these things are undesirable traits, and the more of them you have, and especially disability. Like, disabled people are the ones that they go after first a lot of the times, and like, it's an acceptable group to just like die. I'm not gonna go off on a COVID tangent right now. Goes off on a COVID tangent right now. Yeah, like, I just want people to understand that these risks compound, and that, you know, one thing is more dangerous, like, on top of other stuff. And like, trans people do have worse health outcomes. So like, yeah, gun violence, COVID, everything is like a literal state of emergency. And it's crazy how all of this has just been swept under the rug. Like, we've manufactured consent for being reinfected by a virus over and over again, and being unsure of whether we're going to get shot when we go to the grocery store, and trans people being like denied medical care and just being dropped by their providers because their licenses are at risk of being revoked. You know, it's crazy just seeing how people have completely given up in so many ways, and how powerless everything feels all the time. And I get that. Like, the only thing we can really do is support each other on an individual basis and try to grow our community power, so that, you know, if there are houseless people, if there are homeless people in your community, help them with local resources, you know. And sometimes you're going to need to do shit that's illegal. Like, maybe your municipality has laws against like giving out food to people because there's food and health and safety regulations and all this nonsense. Like, sometimes you're going to need to do anarchistic action because the systems refuse to help people. Yeah. So we need to like get to fucking work on helping people. And one of those things is, if you are an organizer with the DSA, if you are an organizer in your community, you need to prioritize disability safety. You need to prioritize COVID safety, because there are people like me who want to be involved and who care very much about the community, but we're at higher risk. I already am disabled. As a trans person, I have worse health outcomes for the kinds of normal health issues that most people have. Like, if you're black, you have worse health outcomes. If you're trans, you have worse health outcomes. If you're gay, especially if you're bisexual, you have worse health outcomes, presumably because of all of the extra stress that you're under. So yeah, if you're a political organizer, you need to make your organization disability friendly, because the other thing that's going to do is prevent all of your current members from becoming disabled, or at least help them with that. Like, there is no such thing as queer solidarity if you're leaving behind disabled people. Yeah, all those risks are specifically designed to limit how effective we can be at organizing and protecting each other. As far as the DSA goes, there are due waivers, so don't feel pressured on a financial level. Yeah, it's not even that expensive to join. That was like not something I expected as a hurdle when I was looking into the website and like looking into, I think like the nearest, yeah, I found the website for like the nearest, or at least like one of the ones that I think I would like to join up in. This is why learning intersectionality is important, right? Things interact and stack on each other. Oh, I never added this to the thing. Let me add it to the thing. Oh my God, I'm getting so fucking hungry. Thank you everybody who's donated today, and thank you everybody for hanging out with us today. I'm not ready to call it quits just yet, but oh my God, my air conditioner is so fucking loud that I'm basically just have to not run it during streams anymore. And so that's like another thing that I'm gonna have to be careful with this summer is, you know, I'm gonna have to run my air conditioner a lot before stream and then turn it off completely. And it's already like almost 80 degrees in here after 3 hours. And it was like 72 to start with. Hot, sweaty, and hungry. I'm not quite sweaty yet, thankfully. It seems like there's a global anti-queer push / movement. I mean, to be fair, I think that a lot of the sort of, oh my God, the idea that there are places in the world that are queer positive is actually kind of unique. You know, in most of the world, I would say most of the world, even like if you're looking at the number of countries, for example, I would say most of the world is still really anti-queer. And that we had like a brief respite where it was obvious that, you know, certain places were more accepting. The last couple of decades in the United States have been pretty okay for being gay and trans. Europe is generally pretty okay with it. But, I mean, even in Europe, like Russia, very anti-gay. There are literally organizations that are global that are spreading homophobia and transphobia. Right. Like, do y'all remember why Chick-fil-A is bad? You know, I'm sure that you all know, like, oh, Chick-fil-A is like, we're not supposed to eat there, right? It's been years since we really had this conversation, though, so maybe you don't remember. But the reason why Chick-fil-A sucks is that, you know, it may be owned, like your local Chick-fil-A might be owned by some fucko who lives in your community, but they pay to license the Chick-fil-A brand. And so a portion of their profits goes to the Chick-fil-A corporation, like whatever company owns it. And do you know what they do with that money? Chick-fil-A? What Chick-fil-A does with your money is that they spend money on politicians who pass laws in African countries that make being gay punishable by the death penalty, just like that fucker was trying to advocate for in that video that we just watched. So Chick-fil-A is not bad because they're just generally anti-gay. They're bad because they spend money to make it punishable by death. And more recently, Chick-fil-A and they're like whatever the name of the company that owns them, they are spending their money on these anti-trans laws all over our country. Like, it's not just for funsies that we say not to eat at Chick-fil-A. It's because you are basically, there is a middleman. It's basically like you are passing off your dollar to someone who then turns around and takes your dollar and gives it to someone who then takes that dollar and uses that as payment for shooting a gay person in the back of the head. Like, that's basically what you're doing. Like, there is a middleman, but you are still paying someone to kill gay people. And that's what people don't get. People are so abstracted off of their actions, like they don't understand. Watch your mouth on the W word. What W word? What did I say? It's the same reason why buying that wizard game is directly funding Nazis and a Nazi apologist. Yeah, I mean, that is less harmful. Like, oh, the magic slur? Yeah. You know, the J.K. Rowling thing is less directly harmful than buying Chick-fil-A. Hello, Baphomet. Welcome in. You have missed so many spicy political segments today. I won't cancel people for playing that game, but it is important to know that some money goes to Nazis through J.K. Rowling. Exactly. Like, do you honestly think that J.K. Rowling is not part of the reason why trans people cannot get medical care for their gender in the UK? Like, do you honestly, can anyone tell me that they think that J.K. Rowling is not a huge political donor? Fucking, you'd have to be joking. You'd have to be joking me. Chick-fil-A is definitely, yeah. The direct impact that the Chick-fil-A purchase has is much worse. Man, I'm hungry. I did not have any plans for food today. I've been avoiding political segments intentionally, trying to improve my mental health. Yeah, no, I totally understand that. I happen to really enjoy discussing it on the show, but I am trying to, like, you know, acknowledge that sometimes we need to do gaming streams. Maybe we will do the same thing that some other folks do, which is, like, get the political content out of the way and then just do a gaming segment at the end of a stream so that, you know, we get all of our likes and all of our commentary out of the way toward the beginning. I'm currently breaking a fever, I think. I feel awful. Make sure you take a COVID test. The amount of Chick-fil-A arguments I've had in my life, people just don't want to mentally engage. I don't really get all of the willful ignorance. Food has been a sub-segment today. Yes. Something about problematic restaurants that make them hit different. I don't think I've ever eaten Chick-fil-A. And I've heard that the thing that makes Chick-fil-A chicken as good as it is just that they do a brine and pickle brine. Like they like they do a wet brine and they use pickle juice to do that. And I can do that myself. Wet brining is really good. By the way, if you cook chicken, like chicken breast especially, oh, it seems like it's allergies. I took a test. Yeah, oh god, that's a bummer. My throat is like low level sore because of allergies. I've gotten it for free, but that's it. I think I would eat Chick-fil-A if it was given to me for free. If someone asked me, can I get you something from Chick-fil-A? I would be like, no, thank you, please. But if they already purchased it and there was like an extra sandwich, I would probably eat it. I've had some of their chicken tenders because some relatives brought some home without asking me first, and honestly, they were mid. We don't even have Chick-fil-A here. Yeah. But wet brining is really the way to go. It, like, I was shocked at the difference that it made, because I've been making chicken breast for, you know, a while. Like, I love to just sear the chicken breast, get it nice and brown on both sides, and then pop it in the oven for like 20 minutes and let it finish out. Delicious. Amazing. It is insane the difference in juiciness that is made when you wet brine your chicken overnight. Like, wow, it's so good. It's like so juicy. So you like, and you know, wet brine means like it needs to be salty. So I took like some whole peppercorns and some minced garlic and some salt and some rosemary. The last time I made chicken breast, I put the fucking rosemary in there. Yo, I'm so into rosemary lately. It's fucking so yummy. It's crazy how I like A&W chicken. Oh man, I haven't seen an A&W in forever. In Canada, it tastes incredible, unlike in USA. It's crazy how much people seem to like Chick-fil-A here. The lines will wrap around blocks and out into traffic. I guess homophobia is tasty to a lot of people. Raising Cane's. Yo, Raising Cane's chicken is pretty good, but they have crinkle cut fries. I'm so disappointed. I'm like, you really are, you put all of your eggs in the chicken basket and none of the eggs in the basket of having some fucking decent French fries. Crinkle cut fries are always just so gross to me. Is Culver's the same way? Does Culver's have like crinkle cut fries? Yeah, because usually when I go to Culver's, I don't get fries. I get pretzel bites. Do a lot of people know about Chick-fil-A homophobia? It was a really common talking point like 6 years ago. Demon Mama insists Chick-fil-A is delicious, and I've only ever tried it when hanging out with her, and I'm like, this is mid, and there's a Popeyes nearby. I haven't had Popeyes in years either. Also, the coleslaw is bad. Most restaurant coleslaw is bad, IMO. They all use a shit ton of mayo. A&W in the States is pure ass, but in Canada it's good. That's so weird. Crinkle cut fries are not good. They're like mushy and like they just always have a frozen quality to them. Like a frozen and then fried, and they don't have any flavor, and they're usually undersalted. Like, I am fucking annoyed by crinkle cut fries. A&W Canada and A&W in the States are entirely different companies. That's so weird. I still miss Arby's sandwiches. Oh, I have Arby's every once in a while. Arby's is yummy. Do you have any links for the Chick-fil-A Africa hate crimes you mentioned? It's not hate crimes, to be specific. They are passing laws that make it so that being gay is punishable by the death penalty, legally speaking. Someone said mayo, and I'm like, wow, I really want to make some deviled eggs, because you use mayo in deviled eggs. I was thinking about it last night. I might actually do that today and like boil those eggs and make deviled eggs as a snack. You know, we only have deviled eggs like once or twice a year. You might have them like on Easter and then on Thanksgiving. Deviled eggs are so good though. I really want to just like have snacks more often of deviled eggs. It's not like they're healthy for you, but yeah. What was I about to look up? Oh yeah, the Chick-fil-A donate money to death sentence Africa. PolitiFact. I'm reading. I feel like there should be a Snopes article about this. Oh yeah, Snopes. No, please don't make me do ads. So I kind of don't enjoy how how Snopes does this bullshit of like, the mixed results thing. I think that's kind of stupid, but what's true is a Ugandan government minister announced an intention to make homosexuality punishable by death in October 2019. The National Christian Foundation has funded projects that opposed LGBT rights in Uganda, and the Wind-Shape Foundation, closely linked to Chick-fil-A, has funded the National Christian Foundation. However, the Ugandan minister did not signal an intent to legalize the murder of LGBT people, and his remarks were quickly contradicted by the government. Also, it's not clear to what extent National Christian Foundation-funded entities were involved in the creation or promotion of a bill to make homosexuality punishable by death. So, like, it's still, like, they are, like, associated through, you know, they have this padding between them of, like, the National Christian Foundation, but they are still sending, yeah, mixed results usually just means, yes, but we want to appeal to the conservatives by adding a hedge in here, even though it's basically like, yeah, they never made a step to legally actually make it punishable by death, but they did talk about it. Anyway. What about top tier bakery goodies? Break a bakery? It's going to be a long time before I visit Vancouver. I still need to get my passport. I think I'm going to be able to afford it this year, though. The Netflix documentary, The Family, is a must-watch. They explain all of this in great detail. One of the best things on Netflix. Yeah, I still have a link open for me to look that up and watch that. Like, I already know this information. It might help to have, like, the specific references to be able to draw toward, perhaps. I'm in Vancouver right now. How's the poutine? You enjoying some poutine? More excited to get down to Seattle in a few weeks, though. Yeah, I would still really like to visit in Seattle, but it's going to be a while before I can reasonably do that. Like, any extra money that I have right now is going to be saved toward whatever apartment deposit I'm likely to have to make in, like, 6 to 8 months. I haven't had it in a few days. Ah, potatoes. Yeah, I'm fucking hungry. Okay, listen, I'm starving. So even though there's still 64 people here, I'm gonna waste that. And I'm gonna get out of here and go get myself some food, fix myself up some deviled eggs or something along those lines. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate all of your engagement, all of your wonderful, insightful comments. Thank you for joining me. And I will be seeing you on Tuesday as far as I know. So as usual, be good, or at least don't get caught.